Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, I can hear you, sir. Are you able to hear me, sir? Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can see. I'm on Zoom actually, so like it's visible.
Thank you for joining on time.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
When we are starting?
In 2 minutes, we're just waiting for a couple of more guys to join in. A lot of people have registered. We're just waiting. Maybe 2 more minutes. We will wait and then we will start. Okay.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
YouTube లో వస్తుందా ఇప్పుడు?
You're audible if you're just trying to say or check.
Oh, is it started?
No, it is not yet started. We will start in 2 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Alright, we'll get started then.
Thank you.
Looks like on YouTube some people are mentioning the voice is very low. I will just select the audio device. Sriram, can you help me with the audio device?
Yes, it's working fine.
It's working fine. Are you like I think you are speaking from Zoom? I'm just checking some of the YouTube comments. Yeah. Is my voice audible?
Yes.
So you are
Very
clear?
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then
Very
I'll
audible.
just go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So what I'm trying to tell you here is almost every CEO. Just one second. Almost every company CEO is saying that AI is going to take over. But the thing is, this is right now that is there in the news and headlines. I would say the headlines are very dramatic. But if you ask me my view, the reality is much more balanced. I have interacted with a lot of experts. When I talk to them, what I found is, let's say if you feel that software can be developed very quickly, if you have affordable software development at a very lower cost, then you will see that there will be a huge increment in the startups. Do you also agree? Do you also agree that there will be hell lot of improvement in the overall
Recording in progress.
ecosystem? Everybody will be thinking of creating their own startup. Even I myself, I am planning to build something which I was not able to build earlier. Now that I can develop something very quickly, so I am trying to build a startup quickly. If a lot of startups are getting built, there will be a lot of business expansion. Then there will be, if there is a lot of business expansion, then there will be a lot of need for the service roles. Definitely that will improve the job generation. So that is how this whole economic growth will happen. So if you ask me really, looking at AI, people should not be really scared that it may take away their job, but AI is going to create 3 times, 4 times, maybe 10 times newer jobs. If I observe, what I have seen is some of the areas where AI was not even remotely connected. Now those industries are now using AI. For example, if you ask me in the law, was there any data science or machine learning being used in the law? It was very, very less. But now there are hell lot of contracts and NDAs, agreements that are created within minutes. Even in the law, AI being used right now, newly. This was an industry where nobody was even touching data science remotely. Even let's say if you take something like event planning or wedding, before there was hardly anything, any scope for data science or machine learning or AI in that. But nowadays, Gen AI creates event concepts, invitations, designs, theme ideas. The point that I'm trying to prove here is there are some industries that were not even touching data science or AI very remotely, but now they are experimenting with AI. They are finding very good results. Earlier, if I have to sell you a flat, that I used to upload this pic, but now along with this pic, I will also upload a pic. This is an AI generated image with the TV and etc. everything, furniture, etc. So AI is now opening up a lot of new doors. So I want to start with a positive note that headlines are dramatic. In fact, we are even seeing headlines that AI will come and kind of attack the humans and extinct the human beings, etc. Those are really dramatic because that is what it sells. Like, people tend to find interest in reading such kind of headlines. But the reality is much more balanced. I also want you to think by yourself, like just think about it. Emergence of AI, it's almost like resemblance of when electricity came for the first time. Definitely there would have been a lot of jobs that were gone when computers came for the first time. Hell lot of them, thousands and thousands of jobs, probably millions of jobs would have gone when the computers came for the first time. But that is not a point where people should be scary. Like the early days of computers, AI may eliminate some jobs, but it will definitely create entire new industries, not just the jobs. It may create entire new industries. And some people are raising hands for asking questions. Probably I'll give in between, I'll take the questions. Let me continue in the flow. So AI makes more engineers, like AI makes engineers powerful. What engineers were doing earlier, they were writing the whole code by themselves. Now AI will give you the boilerplate code. Engineers can build the products faster, startups faster, so that earlier if you're building one or two or three or four products in a year, now you can build 20, 30, 40, 50 products in a year. So I have a very positive outlook towards AI, but having said that, you must learn AI to be riding this tide of AI. AI has already created, it will create new job categories. The job categories that AI may create, I cannot even tell you right now. Because what roles people will be hiring, that is not yet decided what kind of work we may be doing. But there are some jobs that are already that came up in the last 1 or 2 years. AI agent architect, LLM application engineer, prompt engineer, AI governance officer, AI workflow designer, AI safety specialist. These are the jobs that were not there a couple of years back. AI lowers entry barriers for entrepreneurship. Earlier, if I have an app idea, I used to just stop at the idea because I could not do anything. But now I can take that idea, I can quickly develop a software, I can test it. In fact, you can build SaaS products using AI, software as service products, and launch them very quickly. So that is my first point. Headlines are dramatic, but the reality is more balanced. There is no need to be worried. Maybe AI will definitely may take away 3 million jobs quickly, but in my opinion, it will be creating 9 million jobs in the double quick time. With that, we will get started. So this workshop contains what I have planned is, in this workshop, some of you may have joined with some background. Some of you, most of you are not having any background in Gen AI and Agentic AI. That is where I'm going to get started. I'm assuming that you may have absolutely no background. All of us are starting from, let's say, zero. We have some little bit of knowledge from here and there. We have read the news, but apart from that, if what are all the buzzwords. So in this workshop, in the next 2.5 hours, I will try to unveil all these buzzwords. I'll make sure that you definitely understand them. I'll make sure that you definitely follow all this by the end of this workshop. So what is AutoGen? What is LLM API? What is RAG? You will hear this term. What is Gen AI? What is Agentic AI? How these are different? What are AI agents? What is LangChain? What is OpenAI? A lot of you might be knowing it already. What is Agentic AI? What are tools? What is N8N? What are prompts? What is prompt engineering? What are LLMs? What is DL, deep learning? What is ML, machine learning? So these are the terms that you will hear. These are the buzzwords that everybody talks about when they talk about Gen AI and Agentic AI. Now it's my responsibility in the next couple of hours. You just give me 2 hours. I'll make sure that you understand this language of what people are talking when they say LangChain, what it means, when they say OpenAI, what it means, when they say NA10, what it means, when they say, when somebody says GenAI, what exactly they mean. So this workshop, we will divide it into exactly 5 structured parts. Part 1, I'll try to explain the rise of generative AI. Part 2, I'll explain LLMs and prompt engineering. At the end of every part, I'll make sure that it's not boring. At the end of every part, we will have a quick lab activity. I'll be sharing a code file. If you know coding, you can write it. Otherwise, you can execute the given code, and then you will see the results in front of your eyes. And then we will go to LangChain, LLM API. What exactly is that? What is RAG? I'll make sure that all of these are non-technical. Even a person without any background should be able to follow it. That is my overall objective. And finally, if you want to learn AI, what is the learning path? That is what we are going to see. So with that, we will get started with part 1. If you have some questions, like say it's kind of burning question, you can always send me a message. You can write it in the message window. Otherwise, if I find some question which is very relevant, I'll go ahead, read it out, and I'll try to mix it with the overall discussion that I'm going through. Otherwise, in between, I will be taking a couple of questions. Okay. All right then. You can put your questions either in the Zoom chat window or YouTube chat window. What exactly is generative AI? What is agentic AI? You will be surprised to know this whole thing happened just in 2 or 3 years, hardly 2 years. Generative AI, if you see the Google trends, interest over time in past 5 years, there was hardly anything about generative AI until 2023 March or April, when ChatGPT came into the picture for the first time. That is when people started noticing, and then this term generative AI itself got famous somewhere around 2023, hardly just 2 years back. And then Agentic AI came just last year, 2025, somewhere around 2025 February, March. During that time, Agentic AI got famous. So if you see 2024, around 1 or 2 years back, if we go there, hardly nobody was not even talking about agentic AI, and very few people were talking about generative AI. Now this term generative AI, agentic AI, these are not like technologies that are very different. These are the advancements of whatever was existing. Before generative AI, there is something called deep learning. That was a technology. Before that, machine learning. Before that, reporting. So whatever we see today, agentic AI, this is an advancement of what has been happening. It all started at 2000 itself, around 25, 26 years back itself, it all started, but that was basic reporting. So let me give you some of the applications in each of them. What exactly is basic reporting? What are the applications of machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, agentic AI? Then you may get a clear idea on what has been happening, how this whole growth of generative AI, and today we are facing agentic AI. Maybe who knows, in the next 1 or 2 years there will be something new that may come up. So it all started with basic reporting. Earlier I have data tables. It has been stored in databases. Now can I do some analysis on it? Instead of going through the whole data table to find my insights, why don't I create a BI report, business intelligence report? Why don't I create monthly reports? Why don't I create a dashboard where I can see the patterns very easily without going through the whole table? Can I have a look at this particular dashboard and find out the business decision? So when I say basic reports, I mean to say business intelligence reports, healthcare analytics reports, financial reports, sales reports, etc. Afterwards, companies started asking, okay, this is fine, this has been the sales. Can you predict what will be the sales next month, next quarter, next year? Can you predict who will be the customer who will buy? Can you predict who will be the customer who will not buy? So people have started asking, it's okay, what has happened in the past, I'm fine with it. Can you predict what will happen in future? That is where machine learning came into the picture, or machine learning models came into the picture. Machine learning helps computers to predict the future outcomes using the past data. It's a way machines understand the patterns. You give the data, I will understand all the patterns in that data, and then I will try to make a prediction. Applications of machine learning are detecting spam based on your email, who has sent the email, at what time you got the email, what are the contents of the email, does it have a hyperlink in that email. Based on all these factors, I will try to predict whether this is a spam email or whether this is a normal ham email. Fraud detection. Once you swipe a card, what is the amount that you have swiped? At what time are you swiping? Is it 3 a.m. in the morning, or is it like 12 p.m.? What is the place that you are swiping? Where are you swiping? Is it a grocery store? Is it a local grocery store, or is it an international tourist destination? And what is the vendor code? And what is the average amount that you swipe? Apart from the average amount, how large or how small is it? How many times you have swiped in that week? Based on all these factors, with one swipe I can get hell lot of data, and then I can predict whether the particular transaction is fraudulent transaction or non-fraudulent transaction. Within a split second, using a machine learning model, by taking all this as input, I can predict whether it's a fraudulent or non-fraudulent. If there's a fraudulent chance, then I will say that let us not get this, let us not give this permission for the transaction to go through. In e-commerce product recommendation, based on whatever you have purchased, I want to predict what is the next product that you will buy. So these are all the applications of machine learning. In market campaigning, I want to predict whether a customer will respond positively or not. India is a huge country, crores and crores of people are there. If I want to do marketing for my insurance product, I cannot call everybody in India. Before making a call, based on the place that they live in, based on their gender, based on their income, based on their expenses, based on all these factors, I would like to predict whether somebody will respond positively or whether they will be non-responders. I will call only the customers who are responders. These are all known as machine learning models, where companies have started using machine learning models to make predictions. The whole world is after prediction only, right? Before something happens, I want to make sure that I predict it and take corrective action. I don't want to be reactive, I want to be proactive. One of the most widely used machine learning model that everybody in this classroom is connected. What is it? Credit risk model. What is a credit risk model? A credit risk model will predict whether a particular customer is going to be risky. Risky means defaulter, or non-risky, whether a good customer or bad customer. Credit risk models are used for creating the credit score. Your CIBIL score that you see, that is known as credit score. Machine learning model is used. In fact, we will do this exercise after a couple of minutes, where we will see the number of loans a customer has taken, number of late payments he has made in the last couple of years, the count of inquiries. Whenever you apply for a loan, there is an inquiry that is done in the bureau. How many inquiries, how many loans you have applied, existing loans, what is the balance that you have on the existing loans, how much is your credit history. If I have all these details, I can predict whether a customer will be defaulter or whether a customer will be non-defaulter. Based on the probability, I can get the CIBIL score. We will do this exercise. So these are all the machine learning models. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, so let us quickly recap what we are trying to do. I'm trying to give you an idea on how generative AI was born, like how is it connected to what happened to its previous forms. So machine learning, the basic reporting, followed by machine learning, followed by deep learning. So machine learning models mostly work on the numerical data. Now if you go to image data, Tesla's self-driving car, beyond the tabular data, face detection, or if you take non-numerical data, which is text data, I want to predict the customer sentiment analysis. I want to predict whether a particular review is fake review or whether it is genuine review. I want to predict whether there is particular comment is a toxic comment or a genuine comment. I want to build machine deep learning models that will predict what is the best path forward so that my car can move ahead. Image recognition, identifying the objects, people, etc. So that is what deep learning. So it all started with basic reporting, followed by machine learning, followed by deep learning. Then came in the generative AI. But before getting into generative AI, shall we quickly build one machine learning model, especially for the first timers? I just want you to feel how a machine learning model looks like, how a deep learning model looks like. Shall we do that right now? So let's try one machine learning model. So what we are going to do right now, this will be our first lab activity. So what I'll first explain you the lab activity, I'll give you the code file, then all of us together we will try it. Remember, whatever is your background, you should not tell me that I do not have the coding background. This coding will be very easy. You go ahead, execute it, you should get the result. So we are going to build the credit risk model here. The data that I will take for it is, I will take the historical data. I have customers with number of loans, number of late payments, number of inquiries, existing loan balance, credit history, and historically whether he was a good customer or bad customer. So I have this historical data. Usually how machine learning models work is they understand the patterns from the historical data. You supply the historical data to a machine learning model, it will understand the patterns, it will form a mathematical machine learning model or an equation, and then using that we can make a prediction. So we will supply this historical data to a machine learning model. A machine learning model will be built. It will try to kind of give some weightage, whether a customer is good customer or bad customer. It will be decided by count of late payments. It has the highest weightage. Count of inquiries. If you are applying too many loans, then it has the second highest weightage. Count of loans, existing loan balance, and the credit history. It has a negative impact. If you have long history, then you are a good customer. You have less chance to be bad. If you have short history, that means there is a high chance you will be a bad customer. Do you understand that? A customer has 15 years credit history versus 1 year credit history. Tell me who's risky? Obviously, the customer who has 1 year credit history, isn't it? We would like to believe in those guys who have a very lengthy credit history. So we will build this machine learning model. Once you build the machine learning model, we will use it for prediction. If I supply number of loans, number of late payments, number of inquiries, his balance, his history, credit history, once I hit the button predict, then it will predict his probability of default is 28% only. So his credit score is this much. There is a high chance that he will be a non-defaulter. So his loan will be approved. If a customer has one loan, that is fine. Number of late payments are 2. Twice he has missed the payment. Number of inquiries are 3. That means 3 times he has applied for the loan. And his balance is nearly 6 lakhs. And history is 10 years. So his probability of default is high. His credit score is low. There is a high chance that he will be defaulter. His loan may be rejected or he may get a very less amount as a loan. Let's try this example. I just explained you what is this about. So let me copy paste the code file link in the chat window. I will also be doing with you. So this is the code file link. I'm pasting it in the chat window as well as in our WhatsApp group. I will be sharing all these details. All of you have to be part of that WhatsApp group. You can reach out to our team. They'll be adding you to the WhatsApp group. In that I'll be sharing all these materials. Right now I have pasted it in Zoom chat. I will also paste it in YouTube chat as well. So you click on that file, you will be landing on this page. On the left hand side top you have table of content. Make sure that you have that table of contents open. So give me a thumbs up if you can see this file. If you have already here, access is requested. So let me share this file. So already some of you are already there. Now recheck it. Click on this link. Now give me a thumbs up once you can open this file. Don't do anything, don't execute too much, you will be confused. You go with me, do not just go ahead without the instruction. As of now the instruction is just open the code file, wait for my instruction. Once you have the code file, give me a confirmation. Yes, I'm just waiting for a couple of more. Yes, so all of you are on this code file right now. Now what I want to do is, definitely understanding a machine learning model outright may not be possible right now. We want to get an idea of how a machine learning model works. So I'm getting this data right now and then I'm building a model. Finally, this model has something called weightage. So your final, whether a customer will be defaulter or non-defaulter, good or bad customer, it will be decided based on some factors. So this is the snapshot of the data. This is not full data. This is a snapshot of the data, and these are all the attributes that will decide whether a customer will be a good customer or a bad customer. Or a credit score will be decided based on these factors. In reality, credit risk models, they will use many more variables, but here for the sake of understanding, I'm making it a little simple here. We are using only count of late payments, how many inquiries were made, count of loans. If a customer has too many loans, that is an indication that the customer is a bad customer. Existing loan balance, and then credit history length in years. This is what we are using. Now, once this, basically if you execute this particular code snippet, how do you execute that? There is a play button here for those who are looking at this for the first time. There is a play button here. If you click on that play button, the execution will be done. You can also use control enter. Otherwise, there is this play button, right? So what you need to do is on the table of contents, right at the top left hand side table of contents, you will be clicking on lab 1. That is where all of us are in 1.1. I have given the numbering so that all of us are looking at the same thing. 1.1 ML model building, credit risk model building, and execute that. How do you know whether it has executed correctly? You must get a snapshot of the data. You must get a model coefficients or the weightage of each attribute in deciding whether the customer is good customer or bad customer. Then the next step is prediction. So let us try to get to the part where we are predicting. So here is the snippet where you can enter the details by yourself. So let us try a couple of details. Let us try a good customer and a bad customer. Let's say number of loans are 1. Let me try these details. So number of loans, let's enter that as 1. Number of late payments are, let's say, 2. That means somebody has paid twice late. That means there is a high chance is a bad customer. Number of inquiries are 3. That means he has applied for thrice in the last 1 year. That means this person is desperate for loan. And existing loan balance is already around 6 lakhs is the loan balance, and the credit history is 10 years. He has been in the he has been using credit card or any of the accounts from the past 10 years. If somebody with this profile applies for a loan, our model will predict what is the probability that this customer may get defaulted, 65%, which is high. What is his credit score? 508, not very high. The model classification, the customer will be defaulter. Defaulter is a technical term. Defaulter means he is going to be a bad customer or a risky customer. We may avoid giving loans to such customers, or we may give a very least amount of loan. How does a good customer look like? Let's say number of loans are 1, number of late payments in the last couple of years are 0, he never paid late, and the number of inquiries 2, he has applied for 2 loans, but the current balance that he has is very less, only 50,000 is the current balance, and he has a good credit history of 10 years. If that is a customer, if he doesn't have much balance, that means he doesn't need to pay for the banks much amount, then the probability of default is 28%, his credit score is 727. So here I'm trying to give you an idea on how machine learning models work, how do they make a prediction, how they were used in the industry. The banks were using this to run billions and billions of dollars of business around this, isn't it? Lots of loans, lots of credit cards are given based on these credit risk models. This used to be the advanced technology around 20 years back. Now fast forward. Okay, let me just take a quick confirmation. All of you, have you experimented? Have you understood this at least when I am doing it? Shall I go ahead to the deep learning model? Shall I just give a demo of that to you? Yeah? Just give me a thumbs up. I'm just waiting for people. All that you need to do is for you to try, there's a play button. It can't get much easier than this. You just hit that play button. You will get everything. Even you can change the code. I will give you the fresh set of code later on. Okay, you can change the code also in this. I'll make sure that I'll give you the clean file once you join that group. In the group I'll be sharing even the slides that I'm showing here. The slides also I'm going to share. Okay, let's go ahead then. So machine learning, I'm assuming that you got an idea Machine learning takes set of factors as input and it will try to predict what is going to happen. The same thing, let's say whether you will buy the product or not, I can predict. Whether this a particular transaction is a fraudulent transaction or not, I can predict based on certain factors. Based on certain factors, I can predict whether a particular email is spam email or not by using machine learning models. I think some of you who are in the crowd must be knowing these machine learning models. You may see this as a very small toy model. The next one is deep learning. Deep learning, I'm using it for image classification. Now here, these are some of the images. So like the way we have trained, so the process of building the model, taking this data, giving it to a machine learning model, that is known as the process of training the machine learning model. So I have trained the machine learning model just like I have trained my dog, and then whatever I ask, it will do it. Similarly, I have trained the machine learning model based on this data. Now I will ask my machine learning model to make a prediction. It can make the prediction. Similarly, deep learning is like you train the images, you train the text. So little bit hard problems. Images are slightly differently formatted, text is differently formatted. So machine learning models could not handle images. Then deep learning models came into the picture. So this is an example where these are all the blood cell images that were taken under microscope. If a blood cell is infected with malaria, it looks like this. If it is not infected with malaria, it looks like this. So these are all the infected cells. This is the non-infected cell. Now imagine we want to automate this whole process where somebody will just put his finger, we will just make a prick, we will take some blood sample, and then we will take the blood cell images. Immediately we want to predict whether there is malaria infection or not. So we want to build a deep learning model for doing that particular task. So I have already built that model. Right now we will be using that model. So I am at section 1.3, deep learning model, image classification model. So what we are going to do is we are going to take certain cell images. Right now we are not really building this model because this model building, it will take around half an hour time because we have to understand all the patterns in these images. So I'm just bringing a model that was already pre-built. Now this model is making prediction. Earlier, what was the prediction? Earlier the prediction was whether a customer will be defaulter or non-defaulter, what will be his credit score. But now the prediction is taking the, earlier what was the input? 6 factors were the input. Earlier in the machine learning model, the factors like count of late payments, loan, number of loans, existing balance, those were the inputs. But right now the input is an image. By taking this as an image, the output is the predicted class. So what exactly is the prediction? So here if we see these images, so for the first image the prediction is uninfected. So let me go to that section. The prediction is uninfected here. Here the prediction is infected. This cell is infected with malaria. We can quickly tell them this cell is infected with malaria, and then this is uninfected. So this is an example of deep learning model. Like that there are several models, but right now, once again, where are we right now? I'm trying to talk about the history of generative AI before we even talk about generative AI, agentic AI. I'm trying to show you certain examples of machine learning models and deep learning models. After machine learning and deep learning, from 2023 onwards, we started looking at newer models. We started looking at a new technology altogether, that is generative AI, where we started creating the content. Earlier in machine learning and deep learning, let us suppose if I give a review, which is 4 lines, a machine learning model or a deep learning model can predict whether this is a positive review or a negative review, or whether this is a toxic comment or whether it's a fair comment, whether it is a fake review or whether it is a genuine review. That kind of prediction these machine learning, deep learning models were doing. But in Gen AI, it's not about just classification. In Gen AI, you can ask generate a review. Generate a review which is 10 lines length. In that review, you discuss 4 points. Out of 4 points, 3 points should be positive, 2 points should be negative, or maybe 1 point should be negative. You can generate something like that. So generative AI, the term came from the fact that we started generating, we started creating the content, we started writing the articles. Generative AI, some of the applications are you can using generative AI, you can create blog posts. I don't need to tell you that right now, isn't it? You might have created a lot of articles already. You might have already written something using generative AI. You can generate code. We will see an example of generating code using generative AI tools. You can use it for language translation. You can use it for email communication. As soon as an email appears inside your inbox, automatically there will be a reply waiting for you. A possible reply is this, or automatically there is a summary waiting for you to be read. So applications of generative AI came very recently, 2023 onwards, and these are some of the applications of generative AI, and we will see a couple of them hands-on. But have you got a hang of it? What generative AI, how it is different from machine learning and deep learning? Machine learning, deep learning stop with prediction only. There's nothing that they can generate. Let's say in deep learning, I can predict whether this is a malaria cell or non-malaria cell. I can predict whether this is a horse or whether this is a cat. That kind of classification I can do. But if I want to generate generate an image where a horse is running on the seaside and there is a sunset in the background, that image will be generated. So that is where the term generative AI came. Why suddenly AI came into the picture? That is also a very good question. I'll try to answer that while I'm discussing a couple of points later. And then came Agentic AI. Generative AI came 2023 onwards. Now this itself looks like quite good. And then came Agentic AI. The term AI is kind of justified in Agentic AI. So how Agentic AI is different from Generative AI? In Generative AI, you stop with only code generation. Until code generation, that belongs to Generative AI. But there are some AI agents that will not only generate the code, you will generate the code, one agent will generate the code, the other agent will verify whether this code is correct or not. It will debug it, it will test it. And if the agent finds any errors, the other agent will do the correction and retesting will happen. If the testing and finally it found that the code is correct, then the deployment will happen automatically. So in agentic AI, multiple AI agents will work together, almost do the job of a human being. That is where this term AI makes so much sense. Artificial intelligence, like the way a team of 10 humans earlier used to work, 10 software developers, maybe I'll put 100 AI agents. They may not replicate the 100% of the work. Even if I can automate 90% of the work, then instead of 10 humans I can work with one human, isn't it? That is what agentic AI is. Generative AI stops at generation only, but agentic AI will take an action. It will complete it. In generative AI, let's say if you take customer support agent, in generative AI what is used to happen, you write a question and there is a generative AI agent, it will give you the answer in the chatbot. So you have question followed by answer, that is Gen AI. But if you are talking about agentic AI, it is not just conversational agent. There will be one agent that will book appointments. It will go ahead update their backend database. There is one agent that will create tickets. There is one agent that will refund the orders. There is one agent that will update the CRMs. Action, not just generation, almost doing the job of humans. So AI agent is almost like your parallel universe which are there to replace the human job or make the human job much quicker and faster. Autonomous research agents, a research agent will search the website, collect the data. There will be one agent that will compare the resources. There will be one agent that will summarize the finding. End-to-end business process automation. One agent will generate the lead, another agent will follow up, call that particular lead, the other agent will take a summary of that conversation, the other agent will score that lead, whether this lead is going to come to us or not. Finally, there will be one agent that will make the CRM entry. Multiple agents working together, that is known as agentic AI. We will see a couple of examples of AI agents also hands-on. But I think there are several questions that are popping up in the chat window. I'll take a couple of them immediately. Those who have questions, you can also put. So one of the question is, Does agentic AI, the technology creates AI agents? Yeah, agentic AI is the technology that not creates. Agentic AI loosely it means that we are working with a lot of AI agents that are working in a structured manner. That is what agentic AI is. Okay. Generative AI is something like generating based on your input. Agentic AI is working and taking some actions. Multiple AI agents kind of fulfilling a particular goal. You give a goal that this is what I want to do. I want you to prepare a large report where I want you to do a lot of research online. So a lot of agents will do that and give you that final report.
Can I add some?
Yeah. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and paste them, put them in the chat window. I will try to answer them. So one of the question is which one we should learn, generative AI or agentic AI? It's a good question. Maybe towards the end I will give you a proper learning path. We will make sure that you do not have that question. Just hold on to that question. I will take one more question and then we will proceed further. Let's not break the flow. How agentic AI, so one of the question is how agentic AI is used from customer end. I understand companies are using it, but as a consumer, how are we affecting? That means, do you want to create an AI agent for doing your daily tasks? Is it possible? Yes. As a customer, like usually we, since most of our focus is on getting into job or job shifting, that's why we are looking at everything from the company's point of view, so that how can we learn the technology and how can we crack a job. But as a customer also, you can create a personal assistant agent instead of browsing through. Let's say you want to buy a mobile phone, what do? You browse so many pages, you compare several products, you see the ratings. Probably you will do at least 1 hour. Let's say if the mobile phone budget is, let's say, 50,000, before you invest 50,000, you make sure that at least 1 to 2 hours research you will do. You just do not go and buy the mobile phone. But what you can do right now is you can use an AI agent, you can give it a goal. You know what, my budget is 50,000, I want this, and I want it to have good ratings. Go ahead, do the research for me. AI agent will do all that research and give you a final report. It can give you even suggestion that this is what you must buy. Okay. So that is the generative AI, agentic AI, the overall history. I will take the remaining questions maybe later on. So now that concludes our part 1. In part 1 I just told you what is the whole rise of generative AI, agentic AI, what are the applications of generative AI and agentic AI, as well as machine learning, deep learning. Let us do the deep dive. The whole session is about getting a good understanding of generative AI and agentic AI. Let's do a good deep dive of Gen AI. I'll tell you what are LLMs. There is a term, like whenever people talk about generative AI, you will hear the term LLMs. There's something called prompt engineering. At least at the end of the session, you can say that I'm a prompt engineer. So it is that easy. So let us do a deep dive of generative AI, LLMs, and prompt engineering. Generative AI, as we have discussed, when somebody says generative AI, you can imagine that generative AI is about LLM models that will take the input, user input, and it will generate the output. Whenever somebody says generative AI, there is a parallel term that you will hear, LLM. Generative AI, the pillar of or the main aspect within generative AI is LLM. You will give an input to an LLM model, it will predict the output. Somebody has given the input, how to improve the focus and utilize time effectively. Give me the answer in bullet points. Now what you should do if you want to improve your focus, you first set priorities. Right at the morning, you set what are the 3 top tasks that you want to finish. Break down the tasks. Between the work, try to take some break. Work for 25 to 30 minutes and then take 5 to 10 minutes. Like that, you got the output. So this is the input. and this is the output. Input is given to something called LLM, and then you will get the output. So generative AI, whenever somebody says generative AI, LLMs are the ones that will generate the content. LLMs are the ones that will generate the text, they will generate the image, they will generate the code, they will generate the prompts. Everything will be generated by LLMs. So they will take the prompt as input and they will give us the output. So what exactly are LLMs? Does anyone know the full form of LLMs? Put it in the chat window. What is the full form of LLM? The full form of LLM is large language model.
Language model.
Large
Yeah,
language
language
model.
model.
Basically, a model that works with language, and it is a large language model. First of all, before we even go for large language model, let's talk about language model. Have you ever heard of language model? Have you used language model, let's say 5 years back, let's say somewhere around 2020, somewhere around 2018? Have you used a language model earlier? Everybody among us, we have already used a language model. Let's say if you were talking to a chatbot, then you were using a language model, or you write a comment on Amazon, you write a review on Amazon, then the review, whether it is positive or negative, what are the positive points, what are the negative points, that is an example of a language model. Of course, when you are typing something, you type a couple of words and next word which is predicted. Now this is also a language model. What is this language model doing? It is taking these 4 or 5 words as input and it is trying to predict what is the next best word that may come. These are all the language models that we were already using them, but you can call them as, let's say, small language models, or ordinary language models, or usual language models. A language model finds the patterns in the text and helps us to predicting or summarizing or classifying the text. So a regular language model is like taking a review as input, predicting the sentiment, that is a language model. Predicting the next word while writing the text. You have written 4 or 5 words, you want to predict the next word, that is also a language model. Finding the keywords in the text. Let's say you have written something, automatically hashtags are generated, that is also a language model. But what is a large language model? Now this is serious stuff here. All of you listen to this carefully. Large language model. At the core of it, what does a large language model do? You will be surprised to know every large language model does only one job. What do they do? They just predict the next item in the sequence. They just predict the next word in the sequence. A large language model takes a sequence of words as input. Somebody has written, "Oh, what a lovely." Then the large language model will predict, "Oh, what a lovely car. Oh, what a lovely weather. Oh, what a lovely flower." Then what it will do? I think the most probable word must be car. So, "Oh, what a lovely car." Then all of this is given as input to the large language model once again. "Oh, what a lovely car." The next word will be predicted, "I." Again that will be given as input. "Oh, what a lovely car, I." Word will be predicted. By taking all this as input, next word, like, to, buy, one, like that it will keep on generating. Once it hits a meaningful stopping point, then it will stop. Do you remember when you were using ChatGPT for the first time, word by word, it used to generate? Now it is so fast that we don't get to see that. But has anyone observed during the early days, word by word used to be appearing? After certain words, it used to stop, isn't it? Do you remember that? Anybody? Large language model will just generate the next item in the sequence. Why are they called as large language models then? There are multiple reasons, because usually, let's say if I am building a small language model, there is a small language model. Let me call that as SLM. Let's say there is a model that will take my review as input and predict whether this is a positive review or negative review. Now to build this model, probably I will take 5,000 positive reviews, I will take 5,000 negative reviews. Then I can build this model, I can use it, that will predict whether a review is positive positive or negative later on. So 5,000 plus 5,000, 10,000 reviews are almost sufficient to build a decent model. But the kind of data that was used in large language models, the whole internet of data has been used. Almost while building the large language model, they have used the whole books, every book that is available that is used for training, whole literature databases, all the scientific articles and journals, all the websites, billions and billions of websites, all the blog posts, all the social media forum discussions, all the news articles, all the dictionaries, encyclopedias, open source data sets, repositories, code repositories. If you go to GitHub, hell lot of code is there. That is the reason why large language models are so good at predicting the code, because the whole code repository is there on GitHub and it has been trained on that. Encyclopedias, everything has been used. The data that is used for building these large language models is almost the whole internet of data that is available until this point of time. Obviously that requires large scale computations, because large amount of data has been used, large scale computations were done. That is why these are known as not just language models, these are large language models. And the results, what are the results of large language model? They are super good at generating code, they are super good at creating the content, they are super good at answering the sophisticated questions and answers. Can somebody tell me what are some of the famous large language models that you heard of? When I say large language model, what are some of the models that you might have heard of, you might have used? Tell them in the chat window. What are they? Grok, somebody said Grok, that is right. ChatGPT, behind the scenes there is a large language model. Claude, Anthropic Claude, GPT-4, Gemini, DeepSeek, all these are large language models. Why they are called large? Are you convinced? Why are they called large? Why are they not simple language models? So some of the famous large language models, almost every company has kind of created or developed a large language model. But some of the famous ones, I think already you have given me the list. ChatGPT, behind the scenes there is a large language model. Gemini, DeepSeek, Grok, Anthropic. In fact, these are famous as of today, but who knows? There may be a large language model that may be appearing and which is outperforming all of these. In fact, if you want to know what are the large language models that are leading as of today, there is a particular website. If we go to this website, we can see the list of large language models. For example, if I go to this website, as of today on the leadership board, Claude Opus 4.6, that is the one that is the best in terms of text generation. In terms of code also Claude only. In terms of vision, Gemini 3 Pro, that is the best model for images. Text to images, GPT-3. Image editing, ChatGPT. For searching, Gemini 3. So these are all the large language models that are famous as of today. If this is number one today, I cannot say next week this will be the one. There could be a model that is better than this. So there are two ways to interact with large language models. One is interacting with them on their website. We go to their app, we go to their web application. On ChatGPT, I go to ChatGPT website, on Gemini website, or Claude website, or Copilot website. That anyway you're doing it as a user of a large language model. Anyway you're doing it. What we will do is, maybe one example, if we use their API, let's say if I'm building a large software, let's say if I'm working in a company, I don't really go to ChatGPT and write something there or put my data there and then get the result. Does it work that way? Can I put the data in ChatGPT? No, hell no. What I have to do, I have to get their API and then work with it here within my application. I have to work with it in the sense I will have a larger application. There are several features. Somewhere I will be giving the input. From here I'll be taking the input. I will give it to a large language model API, and then I'll fetch the output and I'll try to paste it here. So this example we will see it, but the first one anyway you're using a large language model multiple times. One of the question is OpenAI same as ChatGPT? OpenAI is the company name, ChatGPT is the application name that they have given, or the model name that they have given. Similarly, Gemini. So what is the difference between Gemini and Google? Company name is Google, and the model or the large language model that they have built is Gemini. Before that, Bard was something that they have released. Similar to that, OpenAI is the name of the company. This is the name of the company. The model that they have built, there are several models, GPT-3, GPT-4 and so on. Let's try something interesting. Now LLMs are inside every IDE. Let us try to get a hang of one particular point here. There is a very good news that I want to share, that until now, if somebody doesn't know coding, people used to say, you know what, I'm not good with Python, you know what, I'm not good with coding, you know what, I'm not from coding background, I don't have that computer science background, I cannot follow coding. For all of them, the good news is nowadays you don't need to code at all. Even people who do not know coding right now, let me challenge you, you yourself will be doing this task without knowing any coding. You can challenge yourself. Maybe if somebody takes 10 minutes, you may take 15 minutes or 20 minutes, but you should be able to complete it. So what I want people to do is, I want somebody to import this data, whether you have background in Python or not, doesn't matter. I want you to import this data, and then I want you to create a slightly complicated chat, geo chat. I want you to show geo chat showing the units sold by each country. So I want you to draw a map. In that map, if a country has higher sales, maybe thick color. If a country has lower sales, maybe a light color. Like that, a particular piece of code which is very complicated. Few years back, a person with 4-5 years of good experience in Python only should have done that, but now without any experience we can achieve that. So let us do, because behind the scenes there is an LLM that will help us. So if you go to our code, if you go to the section 2, LLM inside IDE, all of you, you click on table of contents. If you go to section 2, LLM inside IDE, there you will see that these are the questions. Import the dataset from the following source. So you have to import, that means you have to write the code. So what I want you to do here is, you can add a couple of code cells. So if I just click here, we can add a couple of code cells. If you see inside the code cell, either it says two things: start coding. See this one, it says either you start coding, or what is the other option? Either you start coding or generate with AI. So what I'll do is, I will use the option generate with AI. I'm assuming that I do not have any Python coding background. Now I have to import the dataset from this source. I'll copy it. I'll just click on this option generate with AI. And what is the LLM that is working? Gemini 2.5 Flash is working. So write code for, you can also try this, write code for importing data from the source link I have given. Write the code for importing the data. And if I just say OK, it will generate the code for me. The code is generated. It's saying accept and run, accept or cancel. So for now I will trust it, and I will say accept and run. So once I close this, it is working. Once I close it, you can see that this is the code that was given to me. This is the code which says that this is the URL, this is the data frame name that is created. So if you know the coding, Python coding, well and good. Otherwise, you can ask Gemini. What is it? Either you start coding or generate with AI. What is our second question? Second question is create a geo chart to visualize units sold by country using the columns customer, country and units sold. So let me generate that with AI. But you have to write the prompt, or you have to give your requirement very clearly, then only AI will understand. So write code for creating the geographical chart. Write code for creating the geo chart. If you do not give the columns, it will not understand. To show units sold in each country. So in each country, I want to show the units sold. It's better to mention exact column names. Column name here is unit sold. That is one column name. What is the other column name? Customer country. So I would say use the columns. Clearly I'm saying customer country and unit sold. Let us see whether it can give it or not. I just gave my requirement. Let us see whether it can generate the code for it. If it cannot generate in one go, I will ask it 2 or 3 times. I will say accept and run. Let us see whether it is able to generate the output. I want a geographical chart where by each country the units sold should be printed. Now this is the graph. How many units were sold in US? 600. How many units are sold in Brazil? 238. How many units are sold in India? 48. In Pakistan? 1109. In Nigeria or in China, in Russia, whichever is the country, in Australia, the units sold are 188. What I'm trying to tell you is, if you say I do not know coding, all that you need to do is simply click on generate with AI, clearly explain what is your requirement to AI, and AI must help you. Coding is not a barrier anymore. Earlier that used to be a big problem, but now you can learn with AI. Coding is not, in fact, here we are just creating very small stuff. Nowadays AIs are taking one line as input, they are creating the whole software itself. Here we have generated only 4-5 lines of code. There are AI tools that will write thousands and thousands of lines of code, and they will give you a perfect working software automatically. Not only that, forget about generated with AI. The AI is so smart that if you just write your comment, whatever is your intention, let's say I want to create a frequency, I want to create a frequency count table for the variable customer country. Let's say for the customer country, I want to know how many customers are there in each country. So let me take the exact variable name, customer country. Now this is what I wrote. This is not code, this is just a comment what I want to create. If I just hit enter and wait for it, automatically code is suggested to me. Can you see that below, all of you? In the gray color, there is a code that is suggested. That means even if you want to write on your own, the LLM behind the scenes is helping you to write the code. Forget about like generate with AI. If you know coding, if you are writing automatically, the LLM will try to suggest you. All that I need to do is hit tab. Now I am hitting tab. I am not going to write all of this. I hit tab, and then if I execute it, definitely it will give me each country wise how many customers are there. All that I need to do is just print this, and then I will get the result. So in this, what I'm trying to tell you is, nowadays LLMs will be embedded literally in every tool that you will use. So the rote work or whatever work that is highly predictable, that will be taken care by LLM if it will be generating whatever is the next item in the sequence. So how LLM is working in the back end, it will take all these as inputs, it will also take the context as input, what data that you are working, and it will try to predict what is the next best word. One by one it will generate all this. So I want to once again highlight the point that coding is no longer a barrier in innovation right now. If you have an idea, maybe towards the end I will tell you certain tools, you can experiment with them, you can create your own startup, you can create your own app without knowing the coding, but you must have good skills of explaining what is your idea. So the days of coding being a major barrier or roadblock are over. With LLMs embedded in IDEs, IDEs are the environments where you code. Coding can speed up almost, you can get like 90% efficiency. Developers definitely get benefited from real-time suggestions. We have seen real-time suggestions, right? While I'm coding, automatically I'm getting the suggestions. Yeah. Definitely. So somebody is saying thanks for raising the spirit with coding made easy. I'm telling you, coding is not only easy nowadays, you just need to have English well. Like if you are just explaining your problem statement clearly, it is LLMs, the large language models responsibility to give you the code. I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating it. We are just at a beginning of it. Definitely there will be even betterment happen that will happen in coding. But you must know how to interact with large language model. All of you must be aware of how do you interact with large language model, because large language model is too powerful. If you have a powerful engine, even if you give a slight mistake as input, the results will be quite far away. So the language you talk to a large language model is known as prompt engineering. The input that you give to a large language model is known as prompt, and designing a prompt is known as prompt engineering. But what I'll do is I'll just pause here and try to take a couple of questions, burning questions. Obviously, I may not be able to take all the questions, but I'll try to answer as many as possible. So somebody says, I have created a couple of apps, that is good. Somebody says, can you share the link for code, that is also fine. Okay, one of the question is, can Python code also be generated and embedded with AI? Yes. Python is one of the language that AI will prefer. Even if you go to ChatGPT, if you don't mention any code, if you just ask, give me some code, by default it will give you the Python code. And what you see here, the code that you see here, this is Python code only. You just need to give the input clearly, Python code will be generated. Yeah. The question is, can we get the PPT? Yes. The PPT, the code file, even some more material that I'm planning to share, some of the information I will be sharing. So there's a WhatsApp group. In that group, I will be sharing, not only right now, in future also, some of the new tools if I find, we'll be sharing that. So WhatsApp link, Sriram, Sohail, can you guys please put the WhatsApp link in the chat window, as well as YouTube, as well as Zoom. The recording will also be shared. It will be available on YouTube as well as on the WhatsApp link. We'll be sharing that. Right? So somebody says, what is the objective of this session? Maybe I'll just
Yes,
go
sir.
back to the beginning once again. The objective, as I shared in the beginning, the objective is to know what is happening. So there are 5 parts in it. Right now we are at the second part, or we are moving from second to the third part slowly. So I will be clarifying what are all the buzzwords. So right now one of the buzzword that we talked about is LLM, deep learning, machine learning. These are some of the words that we have talked about. What is Gen AI, what is Agentic AI. So I'll try to make sure we are getting a good idea of all these buzzwords. Afterwards, at least after this session, you will have a clear idea on what are these and what is the overall learning path. So that is the objective of this session. So let's carry on. I request the team to share the WhatsApp link quickly in the group as well as what's YouTube chat. All right. Now this is another important topic called prompt engineering. You have a large language model. You give it an input. This input is known as a prompt. The technical term for it is prompt. So what is the mistake that people do? Throughout the years, all these years, we have a habit of interacting with Google, isn't it? If you want to know anything, you go to Google and then you do a search, you enter a search string. Google will search for the websites and you will go to first 2-3 websites, you will get the information. And we are very well versed about it. Like basically this is our internet first contact point. Now that is where we do the mistake. What is the mistake? We interact with the large language model. Let's say we go to ChatGPT, we go to Gemini, and the way that we interact with Google, we interact the same way with the large language model. But what we need to understand is a large language model is very different from a search engine. Google is a search engine. A large language model is a next word generation engine. These two are different. A search engine will not answer your question. It will look at some of the keywords and it will find websites that are matching your keyword. It will rank them and give you the best websites with matching keywords. But large language model will try to give you the most probable words, or it will try to answer your question. So the prompt, the first point that I want to really highlight here is a prompt is not same as a Google search string. If at all you are writing a very short prompt, if at all whatever you type in Google search, if you are typing the same in your large language model or inside ChatGPT, that means we are already doing it wrong. Because this ChatGPT or Gemini, these are LLMs, they are next word generating engines. Tell me one thing, if there is a next word generating engine, do you need to give a lots and lots of words to get the best output, or can you give a couple of words to get the best output? Tell me. Do you think a couple of words are sufficient? You have to give the complete details. That means the prompt has to be very lengthy. A prompt inside the ChatGPT is not same as a Google search string. If your prompt is just one line, less than one line, already you are on the back foot. Your prompt has to be very detailed because it is just a next word generating engine. For me to generate the next best word, you have to give me the right context. If you give more and more context, definitely I can give you the words that are the most relevant. Definitely this will give you the probable answer. Consider the prompt. It is not merely a query. It's not a simple query, but it's a conversation with ChatGPT. You are conversing. When you're talking to me, you want to make sure that you are explaining me in as much detail as possible so that I can answer you properly. Instead of treating it like a Google search engine, you have to think it of a robotic assistant. Let's say you are talking to a robot. You don't tell it just come here. What do you say? You will give clear instructions. You have to stand up, walk left side 4 feet, walk straight 2 feet, then take a left turn, walk 5 feet, then you take the right turn, then I am here. That is how you will find me. If you say come here, what it will do, it will try to break everything in between, it will try to break the walls and come. So you have to avoid very brief small queries. What you need to do, you have to give a very detailed structured prompt. Meticulously designing this prompt is known as prompt engineering, and that is not very difficult. All that you need to know is just this information. Just now I told you that your prompt has to be very lengthy. Once you know that information, already you are a good prompt engineer. Earlier I used to give one line prompt, now I will give 5 or 10 lines prompt, so that the whole intent will be understood by my large language model very clearly. For example, earlier when I was creating the code, if I say just create a geo map, create a geo chat, do you think the large language model will give me the right answer? If I come here and say that create a geo chat, I have to make sure that based on what you want to give, based what are the columns, etc., that context need to be given clearly. You have to give a prompt in such a way that internally there is a context. Internally you have to give the tone that is intended, and if you feel that there can be some ambiguity, my large language model may get confused, then you have to anticipate those potential ambiguities and make sure that you are giving that clarity. What is the typical method? Somebody will go to ChatGPT and say, how do I become a data scientist? This is the typical prompt by most of the users. This is known as zero shot prompting. What is zero shot prompting? A shot means example, zero shot means zero examples. Without any context, without any examples, directly I am asking what do I want. ChatGPT will still give you the result. Every large language model will give you the result, but it will be a very broad, very generic output. Asking the model directly without any examples is known as zero shot prompting. Most of the times this also works, but usually it results in a very generic output. And when we are working inside teams for large companies, we don't want to work with zero shot prompts because there is a cost associated with everything that is generated. What are some of the examples of zero shot prompting? What is NLP? How to learn generative AI? So if you directly go and search how to learn generative AI, it will give so much lengthy output. We don't get real good hang of what is the process. Give me Python basic examples. How to earn money in stock market. Wonderful. I just want like somewhere on Instagram or YouTube Reels, I have seen that with AI you can earn money. Then I just go to AI and ask how to earn money in stock market directly. What is a good diet plan? So what is the problem here? These are all zero shot prompts. How to earn money in the stock market? It's a very generic request. Do you want to invest short term? Do you want to invest long term? What is your age? What is your capital? When do you want to invest? When do you want to return? How much return you want? All those. What is a good diet plan? A good diet plan depends on the gender, location, age. A good diet plan for a 16 years male may be a very bad diet plan for a 75 years female. Do you agree? You have to give what is your age, where do you live, what is your gender. Based on that, good diet plan will be decided. So the zero shot prompting, the problem is you do not have any context, you do not give any examples, you do not give the specific tone, but still the ChatGPT will give you the output. The output will be the quite broad, like unspecific, generic, very much repetitive output is what you get even multiple times if you do it. Multiple times, like I have given the prompt, I'm not satisfied with the output, regenerate, not satisfied, regenerate, not satisfied, regenerate, not satisfied, finally I blame LLMs are a waste. But the thing is, you have to structure your prompt. From here, from today onwards, if you are writing a prompt, at least you add these 5 elements. Add these 5 elements, then your results will be perfect. What are the 5 elements? You give ChatGPT or your large language model a role. A role. You tell ChatGPT, because ChatGPT has been trained on the whole internet of data. It can be anything. But depending on your task, you tell it what is the role. Imagine you are a Python developer. Imagine you are a nutritionist. Imagine you are a mutual fund investor. Imagine you are a doctor. Or imagine you are a cardiologist. Give it a role. Then your output will be much more streamlined. Give some examples. If you are looking for certain type of output, you can give certain type of examples in the chat. You can get some links and you can give it there. Give some examples, or you can tell what do you want to include, what do you want to exclude. So when you are writing something, if you are writing a prompt, in that prompt you start with a role, and then try to give some examples, exceptions, inclusions, exclusions. Always mention the domain, which domain you are talking about. If you just say give me some Python basic examples, there is something called Python developer. Python for data scientist is different. So exactly what you are looking for, the domain, and display, whether you want it in the paragraph, whether you want it as a table, whether you want it as sections and subsections, that also you can mention. And one of the mistake that we do is we give all this, if we do not get the result, we tend to regenerate. But instead of regenerating, what you can say is, out of this result, this much is good, this much is bad. So what you can do is you can give it a feedback. You can have it like a chat. You try to do it for a couple of iterations. After 4 or 5 iterations, you may get the best result. So iteration is not like regeneration. You have a conversation with LLM and finally get the best output. So next time onwards, like these are just suggestions. It's not like prompt engineering is a course that everybody must follow and do those rules only. So what people generally give suggestions is try to include those elements. What are the elements? Role, examples, domain, display, and run it for a couple of iterations. Yep. Let us see a couple of examples how we can write a prompt. Let us suppose if your requirement is this, write a prompt that asks AI to generate short blog post explaining the importance of time management, including practical examples and some tips, actionable tips. If this is what you want, then what are the 5 elements? Tell me quickly. Role, you have to give a role, examples, and then domain and context, and then display format, and then you run it for certain iterations. So now we'll start with role. Imagine you're a professional blog writer. Imagine you're a certain writer. Imagine you're a business communication expert. And then, example, you can include some of the blog links, or you can include a couple of paragraphs, write something like this. Domain, is it time management personality development for kids or for working professionals, you can mention exactly which domain you're looking for. Output, so display format, output should be 50 lines, 4 paragraphs, or let's say 5 paragraphs of 10 lines each, or 2 tables or sections and subsections that you can mention. With all this, you get the output. You see whether if you are satisfied, how much ever you are satisfied, you tell it. And if you want to change the last section, you ask it to change the last section, and then in the second iteration you may get the result. Run it for a couple of iterations. So what is prompt engineering? Designing your prompt by including all these elements is known as prompt engineering. An easy way to remember prompt engineering, usually what I tell my students is, my full name is Venkat Reddy. So REDDI. So you remember me whenever you are writing a prompt. R, role. E, examples. D, domain and context. D, display. And then run it for a couple of iterations. So with this format, you must be getting good results. Already, most of you are already good prompt engineers, but next time onwards, if you implement a couple of these elements, definitely you will get perfect results. Fine. One more example is simulate data science mock interview for practice. You give it a role. Shall we try it, all of you? So let's try it. So this one, I want you to participate, everyone. So I want to simulate an interview question. Let's say tomorrow I have interview on Python or data science. So I have a data science interview tomorrow, and I want ChatGPT to give me the interview questions. What is the worst way of doing it? What is the basic way of doing it? Give me 10 data science interview questions. That is the way, but we want to do the best way, prompt engineering way. So what is the first thing that you will start? What is the first thing that you will include? All of you participate in the chat window. Tell me, what is the first thing that you will write? Imagine, imagine. First thing that we need to do is give it a role. I can already see some of you are giving the role. Act as a data science interviewer, act as a data science manager, act as a data scientist, act as an expert. Just if you say expert, it may not work. You may have to say expert in that particular field. Act as an expert in that subject. Act as an expert in data science. Act as a manager. Try to, yeah, this one looks good. Act as a data scientist with 10 years experience in IT industry. So this is like very specific. That is pretty good. So you're giving a particular role. Role followed by what is the next thing? What is the next one that we need to tell ChatGPT? R E. What is E? Examples. These are also known as shorts. This is also known as few short prompting. If you give few examples, few shorts, you can tell ChatGPT that you give me 3 hard questions, 3 medium questions, 4 easy questions. Total 10 questions. So hard, easy, medium. So that is examples. What is the next one? Role, examples. Try to recollect. D. D stands for domain. Which domain? So are you attending a specific domain? Is it in a healthcare company, or is it an insurance company? Is it a credit risk company? You must give that certain domain. It is data science, all right. Data science in healthcare, data science, like depending on the company that you are going to give interview, you may want to mention that domain. And then next thing that you will mention in the prompt itself, a very detailed prompt is what you are writing. No, literations is the last one. So R E, what is my name? R E D, the display format. Display format. So do you want MCQ questions? Do you want Q&A questions? Do you want code based questions? Code need to be displayed, or do you want the questions in the tabular format? Do you want the questions in the sections and subsections? That is what display that you want, what format you want, that also you need to mention. Okay, code based questions, whatever you want. What is the last one? Once you get these, if you are satisfied, you will go ahead. If you are not satisfied, do not hit regenerate. What are you going to hit? You are going to hit whatever I have liked in this. These are good. Out of 10 questions that you have given, around 4 questions are fine, 6 questions are not fine, or out of 10 questions these are fine, these are not fine, like that. You run it for certain iterations. The best output may be waiting for you in the third or fourth iteration. So the last item is iterations. Okay, I think most of you have done it perfectly. All right, so what we will do is we will try to go to the next section. I think before that next section we will take a quick break. I think this is a good time for a break, almost 1.5 hours we have taken. So we will take a break for 10 minutes. Okay, 10, or maybe let's meet at 8:45. Good time, 8:45. 8:45 p.m. is when we are going to regroup and then continue. Exciting topics are lined up. Until now we have covered nearly half of it. Remaining half, 40% is remaining. Okay, where we are going to have another couple of hands-on exercises. We will get clarity on few more topics. I hope all of you are comfortable until here. We will get to the next session. I'll see you on the other side. back at your desk, give me a thumbs up, give me a message. Let's give a minute for everyone to join in. All right. I think some people are asking about classes and all that. Uh, we will get to that later. First, let's focus on the topic. Okay. Somebody from our team can respond personally for anybody about asking about classes. Okay. Coming back to our 5-part discussion, 2 parts are done. We are right on track. We are, as per the plan, we are going. Hope I'm not going very fast. Hope you are following everything. Now let me unveil few more buzzwords. Another buzzword that you hear very frequently is LangChain. Whenever you talk about GenAI, knowingly, unknowingly, in most of the job descriptions, you will see something called LangChain. What is a LangChain? LangChain is a framework. What is a framework? Framework in software development, framework is essentially like a toolbox or a set of pre-written code. Let's say if you want to build any LLM applications, you don't need to write hell lot of code by yourself. If you are using LangChain framework, a lot of functions are already written, so many things are already written. You can call them and you can accelerate the whole application development very quickly. For example, if I give you a task, make a toy car. Now somebody can make the toy car using with paper, somebody can use mud and create a toy car, somebody can use cardboard create a toy car. But what if I give you a framework? What is a framework? What if I give you plastic wheels, I give you some outer structure, I give you around 10 parts. Based on that, you have to make a toy car. Now, making a toy car from the scratch may take a lot of time. But here, if I give you already certain parts, then it will be much easier for you. That is what framework means. A framework is a place where pre-written code will be there. So LangChain is an LLM framework, which means if you want to build LLM based applications, then you can use LangChain framework. A lot of pre-written code will be there. Some of the website, like there are several other frameworks which are in other context. If you want to develop a website, you will be using React framework, Angular, or Ruby or Django framework. For desktop applications development, you will be using Flutter or Electron or JavaFX, etc. For mobile development, you will be using Flutter, React Native, like this. These are all called frameworks like that. So this is a list of web development frameworks. This is a list of desktop development framework. This is a list of mobile development framework. For LLM or GenAI, if you want to create anything, then the framework is LangChain. Whether it is great or not great, that is secondary, but this is one of the early frameworks. Everybody started looking at LangChain, and if they want to build LLM based applications, it has made so many things easy. People started using LangChain framework. LangChain is a framework for building LLM powered applications. What is the main use of LangChain? Let us suppose you built an application using Gemini LLM. You built another application using OpenAI LLM. Do you think like OpenAI is like your ChatGPT, Gemini is by Google? So if you have built everything using OpenAI, later on you want to migrate it to Gemini, do you think same functions you have used here, can you use the same functions here? The kind of code that you have to write here, can you use the same one here? Definitely the code, the functions that were used Gemini are customized very differently, that are very different from OpenAI, isn't it? But if you have LangChain framework, does LangChain depend only on OpenAI, only on Gemini, or it is meant for every LLM? So if you write the code in LangChain, from moving from OpenAI to Gemini will be just in a jiffy. Earlier you wrote my LLM equal to OpenAI. Now you will write my LLM equal to Gemini. The rest of the code will remain the same. That is the reason why a framework is needed instead of building everything from the scratch. So maybe what we will do is we will try to use an LLM API. You may have used an LLM in its website. You may have gone to ChatGPT website. You may have gone to Gemini website, and you may have used an LLM already there. But if you are a developer, if you are working in a company, how do you use LLM inside that company? By using LangChain framework. Let us try that. So for you to use an LLM, LLMs are not free. What do you need to do? You need to get a paid version. So what I'm going to do in this exercise is I'm going to give you a key. You have to get something called key or API key. Once you have API key, then only you can use that LLM. If I want to use Gemini inside my code, Gemini won't allow. You have to use their API key, and you have to pay them for every token that you will use, for every generation that you are making. They will be charging you. That is why you have to be a good prompt engineer, so that you can meticulously design exactly what you are creating quickly 10 or 15 times. If you are generating the output, and if you are getting the output, if you have 1 million users, even each one of them costs around $1, it will be like $1 million. It will just evaporate within 1 or 2 days. You have to write the whole prompt very clearly. So we have to get API key, but for this exercise what I'll do is I have created a temporary key. After this session I'm going to delete this key. I have kept this key. With this key we will be working on this exercise. So we will again go to our code file. I will go to section 3 of the lab activity. Here we are going to use LangChain framework to call an LLM inside my code. Earlier, let's say if I have a question earlier, if I have a question how many minimum sleeping hours one person needs, I used to go to ChatGPT and write it there. But what if I want to create a healthcare related application? Inside that application I want to show this output. In that case you have to call your API, you have to call your large language model inside your Python code. How does that happen? First we install the packages installation will take 1 or 2 minutes, and then you have to get the key file. So somewhere I have stored this key. Ideally you have to log into their website, you have to create a login ID, you have to send your credit card details, and then you will get the key. But right now I have created a temporary key with some limits. So this is the key file. You will be storing that key. So it says restart the session not required. I'll just cancel this, and this is how the key looks like. This is the OpenAI API key. Now if that key is there, which is stored inside the environmental variable, Venkat key is stored in that. Now this is how you will write the code. From LangChain import OpenAI. OpenAI is the model name. Usually outside world we call it ChatGPT. That is OpenAI. I will declare my LLM equal to OpenAI. What else I can write here? My LLM equal to Gemini. Or what are the other ones? My LLM is equal to what? Grok. Or my LLM equal to Cohere. Like that you can write any LLM name. Right now I'm using OpenAI LLM, and then I will say LLM.invoke. So whatever happens inside the browser when you are interacting with ChatGPT, that will happen inside the Python code file. So let us see. It will send this input to the server and it will get the output. OpenAI classes deprecated, that is still fine. It is recommended that adults should sleep around 7 to 9 hours per night. Now customer review is this. I want to know what is the sentiment. The staff was friendly and helpful. I had great experience with the loan officer. My online process is also well documented. For example, inside our larger loan related application, somewhere there is a customer review written. and we want to simply put another simple explanation or what is the type of this review, whether it is positive or negative, that sentiment also we want to highlight. Then what we will do, we will send this review, we will say what is the sentiment of this review, give one word answer. I want to be very much saving in terms of the tokens that I use. The number of words are almost like number of tokens. I don't want to generate too much large output. I just want positive or negative, nothing more than that. So this is positive review. If it is positive review, maybe I will highlight it in green color in my application. If it is negative review, I will highlight it in red color. If you go one step further, that is known as intelligent document processing. Intelligent document processing means, let's say if I have an invoice, I have some business invoice. In that invoice, I want to know what is the customer name, what is the customer address, what is the item wise price and quantity, what are the bank details. So I will just give the invoice, I will convert the image into text. That text, if I give to LLM, and whatever details I want, I can get it. In customer onboarding, I will give maybe some Aadhaar card or personally identifiable card, and then I will convert it into text. From there, whatever information that you want to get. In claims processing, somebody has given a large claim document which is filled with their hand. I will convert it into text. In that, I want to ask some questions. I will send it to a large language model. What is the claim amount? What is the name of the customer? When did he submit the claim amount? What is the time of the claim? Was there? What is? Who is the officer who is handling it? Who is the relationship manager? What is the email address, etc. That is known as intelligent document processing. In that, the input is the document. Let's say this is the invoice. What is the output? I want to get the email address. I want to get the item wise price and quantity. Earlier we have to write hell lot of code for this, but now I will just convert this into text, and that text, if I give to LLM, I can ask it any question. So I will get a couple of invoice files. So this is the invoice that I have. Let's say this has been invoiced to Jonathan Pattinson and his email address is also there. So I will install a particular package that will first convert this image into text, and that text will be passed on to my LLM. See what I'm saying? LLM.invoke. Take the information from the above invoice text. This is the invoice text. Take that information and print the email address. All that I need to do is no need to write any code. I just give the above information and I got the result. Take the information from the invoice text, print the bank account details. So these are the bank account details. Let me write something like this. Let me add one more. Take the invoice from the invoice text and print the customer name. The customer name is Jonathan Pattinson. This is known as intelligent document processing. I am trying to show you how LLM API is used. What is LLM API? Inside your code, if you want to call OpenAI, if you want to call Gemini, you will be using LangChain and you will be passing on the information. LLM will interpret and give you the output. Is that clear, everyone? Are you getting an idea? Even if you are not able to execute it, at least when I execute, are you getting what is happening here? Are you with me? Yep. Give me a thumbs up. Yeah. Right. We will move to the next part then. RAG. RAG is another term that you hear very frequently, and then ultimately what are AI agents? RAG. What exactly is RAG? Why RAG is needed? Like first of all, why we need to talk about RAG? Again, I am trying to cover all the buzzwords. Like next time when you hear RAG, I don't want you to think that what is RAG. Next time when you hear RAG, at least I want you to form one opinion. Okay, they're talking about this, they're talking about that RAG. So the problem statement right now we have is, let's say I have some private documents. I have some private agreements that were not there in the internet. For example, my vendor contracts. Let's say there's a company called IBM. They have their secret vendor contracts. Oracle, they have their secret vendor contracts. Do you think they are available on internet? You and I, can we access it? Do you think LLMs would have accessed it? Vendor contracts by IBM, vendor contracts by Oracle, vendor contracts by Capgemini, they will be very, very specific. They will be very secret. Patient medical records. Pricing strategy documents internally. HP has a certain pricing. Do they share outside? KYC documents. HSBC, now know your customer. KYC document. Do you think they are available outside? Crime investigation reports. Are they available outside world? If they are not available, LLMs would not have seen it. So that means if you ask any question, let's say you have a 200-page crime investigation document, or let's say you have a huge vendor contract, 150-page vendor contract, and you want to know what are the SLA contracts, what are the rules for this one particular question you want to ask on that vendor contract. Now you have 150-page document. Can you go to ChatGPT and ask that I have IBM vendor contract? Can you tell me what is rule number 5.6, or what is the SLA agreement for the late payments? Do you think LLM won't be able to answer that? Will it be able to answer it? If you have a very specific information, if you want about a particular security audit report, there is a large security audit report that is a highly secret report. It is not available anywhere in the internet, and you want to know what has happened in the 4th paragraph. Is it possible? Can LLM answer it? What do you think? If you ask a question on the private data set, secure data set, on private documents, do you think LLM can it answer it? Tell me honestly, anybody? Can LLM answer documents related to your private network? No. But the thing is, LLM won't say that I don't know the answer. LLM will answer. LLM will answer. LLM creates an incorrect fictional answers that are based on the real information. Have you ever faced it? Because at the end of the day, LLM is a next word generation engine. It will take your words as input. Tell me, is LLM a Q&A engine or a next word generation engine? Is it going to answer your questions? That is how it is working, or it will take your prompt and just keep on generating the next word? What is the style, original style? What is the LLM? Is it going to answer your questions? Is it meant for that? No. It looks like it is answering your questions. It is not. It is actually generating the next word in the sequence. That's it. It is just generating the next word. So you have given a sequence of words, and it is just generating the next word. For example, if you ask who won the Nobel Prize for AI in 2023, and the LLM will answer, Dr. Michael Turner won the Nobel Prize for Artificial Intelligence in 2023. So much confident. But the thing is, the problem is there is no Nobel Prize category specifically for AI. There is nothing like that. It will simply answer based on what you have given as input. A user asks, what is the refund policy after 3 months? Let's say some chatbot we have built for a insurance company, and somebody told that what is the refund policy after 3 months? And it says, the LLM will say, you are eligible for a 50% refund after 3 months. But the problem is there is no such policy that exists. So LLM is a next word generation engine. It will just keep on generating without saying that it is whether it is right or wrong. This is known as hallucination. LLM hallucinates. We need to be extra careful. We cannot just take everything on its face. It will hallucinate and create some fake addresses, fake documents. So if you want to ask questions related to your private documents, is this possible with LLM? Sorry, it's not possible. But LLM will hallucinate. So how do you avoid hallucinations? How do you work with private repository documents? You use RAG, retrieval augmented generation. LLM will generate the next word. But what do? You retrieve the relevant documents and then you augment them to generate the output. So what do? You don't generate from LLM's model data. You generate the output from your private documents. You are supposed to give your private documents. You load your private documents data, obviously internally only. Then these are the actual steps in RAG. So what does RAG do? You load the data will be split into small chunks, and then they will be converted into a form that can be handled by the model, and then they will be like they are stored in vector databases, certain databases. Finally, based on your question, relevant documents will be retrieved from your data. Let's say if you have 150-page document, and if your question is related to some information on page number 4, page number 128, page number 136, those three pieces will be retrieved, and then the answer will be generated by LLM based on the three pieces of information, just like summarizing of the pieces of information. Retrieval is what? Retrieving of the documents. Generation is what? Generating by the LLM. Retrieval, augmented generation. So what is this? RAG. Retrieval is like retrieving the relevant documents. So you have the data, your data can be anywhere, you can be a code base, it can be in PDF form, it can be social media data, anywhere your data can be. You just load the data will be split into smaller chunks, they will be converted into some numerical forms called embeddings, then they will be stored internally. But what is the most important part here? When somebody is asking a question, the answer will be generated not from the LLM memory, the answer will be generated by getting only the chunks that are meaningful. Based on your question, I feel these are the 4 chunks of data that have the relevant answer. Those 4 chunks will be given to LLM. LLM will simply generate the answer based on these 4 chunks. Then you will get the best answer. That is known as RAG. Have you understood this? RAG, overall idea. Somebody asked, when the answer is already there, then why should we go for LLM? Let us suppose your answer is present in, let's say, you don't want to read through these 200 documents. So let me give you a demo to show you why we need to go for the answer. Okay. So for example, let's say I'm going to give you this particular RAG based chatbot. In this, what we are doing is I have certain documents and I want to just upload those documents. For example, earlier we have built credit risk model. In that credit risk model for a customer, whether it's a good customer or bad customer, we can predict using a machine learning model. But what if we want to create a chatbot? Let's say Sibyl is there. Sibyl is a company and they want to create a customer facing chatbot where customers can interact with it. Now there the question can be anything. So all the repositories, so we put all the documents related to Sibyl. We put all the documents related to Sibyl, we will upload that. Let's say I have all these Sibyl data, I'll upload it. Now any question the user is asking, I don't want to give a generic answer. I want to give my answer. And the answer is present in one of the 5 PDF files or 6 or 10 or any number of PDF files that I have uploaded here. The answer could be anywhere, maybe in the first paragraph of the first file, in the 4th paragraph of the 2nd file, in the 7th paragraph of the 3rd file. Those are the 3 pieces where the answer is present. I don't want to fetch the answer from LLM. LLM may hallucinate. I want to give a very specific answer because these are all my private documents. Once you upload these documents, then when the user is asking a question, we do not want to answer that based on generic output. We want to answer based on specific output. For example, if the user asks, what is a credit score? Now, LLM may be able to answer, but I want to give my definition of credit score because CIBIL is a bureau that is in India. And the limits of CIBIL in India may be different from limits of CIBIL in US or UK. My answer should be very specific to the documents that are there with me. Are you with me, everyone? This is a RAG where your answers will be given generated based on this only. The retrieval itself, does it give the answer? Then why should we go for LLM? The retrieval doesn't give the answer. The retrieval simply retrieves the paragraphs. So those are some of the fragments of the data. Those fragments of the data need to be summarized. They need to be made like an answer. The retriever will give you 4 pieces of the documents. Then you have to ask the user, you summarize this by yourself. Okay? And then maybe, see, right now I'm just giving you an idea. You may have very specific questions about this and that. Definitely when we go very much in depth into it, then you will understand all those details. As of now, you just get the idea. RAG is this. And then what are the very specific questions that you have? Maybe once you deep dive into RAG, each step of the RAG, 5 steps, then you'll understand. Okay? As of now, just get the overall idea. What is RAG? What is it doing? Okay? Does it increase credit score? Does it increase? Yes. Now, what is the most important thing that I want my RAG to do? I don't want it to give me hallucinated answers. What is the cricket score between India and Pakistan? Do you think if I go to LLM, ChatGPT, or Gemini, do they give the answer to this? Definitely they will give the answer, isn't it? Somewhere they will get somewhere in the website they will find and give it to me. But why I am building this RAG? I want to tell this RAG that I don't have information about the current cricket score between India and Pakistan. Because this is a RAG that is built for CIBIL score related answers only. You cannot ask cricket score related questions. I don't want my LLM to hallucinate. I want my LLM to say, I do not know the answer if it doesn't know. If you want that, then you need RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. You retrieve the documents, you augment them while you are generating the final answer. Fine? Have you got the idea on RAG, everyone? Sounds good? Comfortable? Give me a thumbs up. Yep. RAG is for private documents to reduce the hallucinations. A lot of people use it. Right. Then the AI agent. This is something that a lot of people talk about. Right now, I am trying to give you kind of unveil every buzzword. One of the other buzzword is AI agent. The term AI. So until now, until the AI agent came, even I did not like the term AI. Whenever somebody says AI, I used to feel that it is just a pattern recognition. There is not much of artificial intelligence there. But AI agent is the one that really looks like artificially intelligent. There is some thinking engine inside an AI agent. Obviously, we said that engine, but it thinks autonomously. So what is the problem with standalone LLM? If you are using standalone LLM, can it do mathematics? Can it search internet? Tell me, what is an LLM? An LLM, can it search internet? Your ChatGPT may search internet, but ChatGPT is not LLM. Inside the ChatGPT, what is an LLM? It is just a next word generation engine. Can it do mathematics? Can it give answers related to recent facts? Can it give answers related to news data? It is just a next word generation engine. Right now, your ChatGPT has developed so much, it will do the internet searching also. But do you remember 2 years back when you were using ChatGPT for the first time? Have you got this error? Sorry, I have been trained until September 2021 only. I cannot generate any answer beyond that. And sorry, has anyone got that answer from ChatGPT? Sorry, you're asking about this internet. I don't have internet connection. I'm sorry, I cannot give you that answer. That was the pure LLM behind ChatGPT that we were using, isn't it? In fact, even if you go to the same code that I have written here, and if I ask a simple question, who is the current president of India? It says the current president of India is Ramnath Kovind. What the hell? Why is it generating this output? Can somebody tell me why is it generating this output? Ramnath Kovind is the current president. The current president is Draupadi Murmu. Because LLM will generate the output based on its training data. And this would have been generated with the training data that was 3-4 years back. Isn't it? Working on the old data and it has generated this. If I ask this question, who is the 2025 IPL winner? Who is the 2025 IPL winner? RCB. But what is it saying? It is impossible to predict the winner of IPL 2025. Why is it saying like that? It depends on the performance of the teams, etc. It is saying. So standalone LLM, can it search internet? Sorry, it cannot. Can it do mathematical tasks? If I ask it, what is the 325th, or let's say, what is the cube root of 1976.2358? Do you think it can give the answer to this, an LLM? Can it give it? What is it? It's a next word generation engine. Can it access the current news data? No. So those are the limitations of LLM. So what we have come up later on is how humans think. Imagine I give you this task. I asked you, hey, who's the CEO of Oracle? Obviously, I do not know. You also do not know. Very few people may know. Maybe people, if they are joining from Oracle, you know it. But if you do not know, you will not stop there. How do you get the answer for this question? Tell me. How a human thinks. Human will follow these three patterns or these three steps. We will have the first thought. What is the thought? You start by thinking about what needs to be done. Okay, I need to get who's the CEO of Oracle. Then we take an action. What is the action? We go to online, we search online, gather the information. Isn't it? And then we make an observation. There are 50 or 60 sites that are giving the output. We make the observation. And if we feel that most of the sites are saying the same thing, then fine. Otherwise, if here there is one name, here another name, again we have a thought. I have to compare, I have to tell that who is the current, like recent one. Then I'll take an action. Then I'll do the observation. Thought, action, observation. Thought, action, observation. Finally, you will get the result. That is what is the human thinking process. AI agent, it tries to mimic the same process. Agents are software programs that are designed to imitate how humans perform any task. Inside agent, if you crack open an agent, then you will find inside an agent there is a thought. I am going to show you an agent by opening it up completely. You will see there is a thought. Inside an agent there is a prompt how it should work. Inside that prompt you will see that agent will start with a thought. Based on whatever is the input that you have given, it will start with a task. That will be the thought, and then it will take an action. Let's say if it has to do calculation operation, it will do. If it has to search internet, it will do. If it has to get some document, it will try to get it. If it has to run a Python code, it will run it. It will take an action, and then it will observe what is the output. And if that doesn't work, again thought, again action, again observation, thought, action, observation, thought, action, observation. How humans do the task, agent will do the same. Agents are software programs that interact with real world external events, current data, beyond LLM trained data. Beyond LLM trained data, does that make sense to you, that statement? LLM trained data is limited. You want to use that LLM as a brain. Your LLM is the brain. It will have the thinking capability. It will understand the human inputs, but somebody has to take an action. Then what do? You give tools. You give LLM, which is the brain, and then you give the tool. Then using the tool, it will do the right action. What is the tool? You can give internet searching tool. You can give Python coding tool, and it will do the action. Agents are LLM reasoning. LLM is the brain, and tools. User input will be taken, and then there will be an action plan that will be created. I will show you the action plan. How does it look like? That is nothing but a prompt. And then the tools will be given. What are the tools? Searching tool, internet searching. Let's say action plan is you have to search internet. If you want to know who is the current president of India, I think I have to search internet. I cannot get it on calculator, or I cannot get it on Python coding. I have to get it on internet. And then final output will be given to you. User input, like the LLM is simply generating your output, that will not happen. An action plan will be created. Tools will be used. Action will be taken. Agents are LLM reasoning plus tools. What are the tools? Google searching, Wikipedia, calculator, Python code, SQL code generation, RAG private document tool. These are all the tools. Let me show you how an agent looks like. I want to show you a very simple agent. In reality, you can do a lot of things with agent, but here I'm just giving you a flavor of agents. So what we want to do is we just want to solve this particular problem. I asked this question to LLM, who is the current president of India, Ramnath Kovind. It is giving wrong answer. So LLM is good. It is having a brain. Brain means what? Whatever I asked current president of India, it understood my requirement. So brain is there. But what is the tool that it needs? If I want to create an agent, I will use LLM plus tool. What is the tool that I have to give to this LLM to make my agent? Which tool? I will be giving Google searching tool. Then it will understand my question, it will do the searching, and then the overall thinking process is there inside agent anyway. So let me show you how does that agent work. Like, we will create a very simple agent right now. So instead of Google search, I am using something called Tavli search. This is also a search engine, a very small search engine, lightweight. We can search quickly. So first I'm defining the tools here. What is my tool? Let me make this little bigger. So what is my tool? Tably search, or simply you can think as internet search. And then I'm defining my agent. Use my tools. In fact, you can use multiple tools. Let's say if you want to know who is the current president of India and what is her age, if to calculate her age, if the current year is 2026 minus whatever is her birth year, that calculation need to be done. That means I have to give internet searching as well as calculator tool. But right now I'm giving internet searching tool, and then what is my LLM? The user request will be understood by OpenAI, and then I am creating this agent. By keeping verbose equal to true, I will get to know what is happening inside an agent, how agent is thinking. I can see that actually internally. Now here is the thought process, whatever is the thinking engine inside the agent. If you try to see what is the prompt inside the agent, look at this. This is the blueprint that is given to agent, how it should act. Answer the following question as best as you can. You must access the following tools. One of the tool is searching. If you give 10 tools, all the 10 tools will be mentioned here. The question will be user input question. Then you should always think what to do. Then take an action. What is the action? You have to use the tools, take an action. Give the action input. Action input is what user is asking, who is the current president of India. So in a search engine, maybe you give 2-3 terms, current president of India or current president of India, like that. You give 2-3 action inputs, and then you observe, and then this thought, action input, observation, you repeat it n times, multiple times. Finally, once you get the output that I know the final answer, if you are getting that feeling, just give the final answer. That is what agent is going to do internally, just like the way humans think. I am asking the agent to do that. So now I am asking the same question, who's the current president of India? But this time I am not asking LLM, I am asking an agent. Then whatever is in green color, that is internal agent thinking. What is it? I should always think. Agent is talking to itself. See that? The green color one is I should always think about what to do before action. Action tab says what was the action input? My question is who is the current president of India? But what is action input generated from there? Current president of India has been searched, and then finally the answer is the current president of India is Draupadi Murmu, who took office in 25 July 2022. Now what do you think? Do you get the answer? Who's the IPL winner? Do you think the answer is available on internet? Do you think agent can give you that result? What do you think? It must be. There is no way this article is missing in the internet. I should search for the winner of IPL 2025, and it is saying that this is the one, this is the one. In fact, the information is so much that the LLM has thrown error. That means this is too much of information, too many tokens that I have to process. So let me re-execute once again, because there is too much of information that is internally, which when it is thrown to LLM, it is saying that this is too much summarization of that. But anyway, internally the answer is anywhere there in the Wikipedia or somewhere. In fact, what we can do is we can configure this. While we are saying that do not get multiple results, maybe I will say you get maximum one result only, first result itself you should get it. That is how I will define the agent. Now if I try to ask the same question, who is the IPL 2025 winner, then it will try to give me the answer. It is getting the scorecard, etc. Finally it is saying the IPL 2025 winner is RCB. Any RCB fans here, you know that what happened after that. So once again, what is an AI agent? Like now that is really AI, isn't it? Agentic AI systems is the last topic. Somebody is saying already too much of information. I'm sorry for that. We are now to the last section. As I told you, we just want to get an idea on the buzzwords. The idea is not to make you an expert with just one session, just to give you an idea on what are all the keywords or the buzzwords. So what are agentic AI systems? Right now I have shown you one AI agent, one AI agent, one AI agent typically performs specific goal-oriented one task. But what if hundreds, thousands of such AI agents are working? That is known as agentic AI system. Agentic AI involves multiple specialized AI agents that are working together collaboratively, sequentially, or hierarchically to achieve a complex task. Maybe one AI agent will do the research, another AI agent will write the copy, another AI agent will design an image, or 4 5 agents will design the image, 4 5 agents will do this task, 4 5 agents will schedule the emails, 4 5 agents will post it on social media, 4 5 agents will monitor the results, another 4 5 agents will get these results, send it to my sales team. They keep on doing it like that. Multiple agents will be doing the task in a manner that finally they will get or they will fulfill my goal. So agentic AI system will contain multiple AI agents. So we have seen one AI agent which has some thinking internally. Agentic AI system is multiple AI agents work together. One AI agent may generate the code, but if you have multiple AI agents, one generates the code, the other one verifies the code, the other one tests it with some test cases, the other one debugs it and corrects, makes the correction, the other one will rewrite the code. Finally, if you leave them for 1 or 2 hours, they will create the whole website or the software for you. Agentic AI system. Agentic AI system is multiple AI agents working together. And obviously, if you are working with multiple AI agents, how, let's say if you have 100 AI agents, do you want to divide them into 10 teams of 10 agents each? Do you want to work them like do you want all of them to report to one manager, or do you want to work them in a sequential manner, first these 10 agents, next 10, next 10, next 10, or do you want them to work in parallel manner? So somehow you have to write that orchestration of that communication between those AI agents so that they can give you the final goal. For that you need to write separate code, for that you need frameworks. So agentic AI frameworks will help you to build agentic AI applications. What are agentic AI applications? That will work with multiple AI agents. So some of the agentic AI frameworks are Autogen, Crew AI. So these are like code based, and there is something called N8N. A lot of people in the internet love this N8N. This is an agentic AI framework where you don't need to write the code, you just drag and drop. You just drag and drop certain elements, connect them automatically. N8N will be giving you the result. Yeah, got it? So agentic AI framework is a framework where, or these are the pre-written codes that will give you some of the ways to handle these multiple AI agents or orchestrate multiple AI agents. So that is the final topic that we had discussed. So finally, what I want to say is, have you now understood the buzzwords as of today? What is an LLM API? What is an LLM API? That you might have understood. RAG, we have discussed. What is LLM? What is AI? What is Gen AI? What is Agentic AI? What are agents? What is LangChain? What is prompts? So next time when you see these terms, I hope that at least you have some idea on these. So that kind of completes our overall kind of theory plus hands-on session. Now the lot of people are waiting for that particular section where how to learn, is it the right time, what is the learning path, and if I want to see a career in AI, what is the right path ahead. Let us spend some time on that. If you ask me, is it the right time to learn AI, I would say hell yes. Right now we have the early mover advantage. If you start now, what you will realize is at least the roles that are getting generated right now, you will be the one that will be considered. 49% of the Indian CEOs are hiring for Gen AI roles that did not exist last year. There are so many new roles that are getting created. There are some roles that are getting evaporated, that's true, but there are several new roles that are getting created. Recent Anthropic Economic Index report, what it says is there are some industries that have adopted AI quickly. Like they have done some research, they found that in law, in healthcare, in HR, in finance, there are several places where AI being introduced. There is a rapid adoption. There is a rapid adoption in the last 2 year period. Almost AI work has jumped up by 40%. Now, finally, what I want to say is the routine work. Right after this session, you may have to go back and think, is your work a routine? Is your work predictable? Is it repetitive? Then you are at high risk. AI can be the differentiator in your workflows. The people who have embraced AI, if you have learned AI, increase your productivity, then you will have the competitive edge. I would say this is the right time and you must start right now. There are a hell lot of job opportunities. The trend has just started. It is relatively easy to learn and you're aware of the trend. It is damn easy to learn. Out of all the trends that I have seen, AI is the most easiest one and it doesn't take a lot of time. Hardly 2 to 3 months is sufficient to get a good hang of AI. What is the learning path? If you ask me, the organic learning path is like it is lengthy. You learn Python, you learn machine learning, you learn deep learning, NLP, GenAI, Agentic AI. So you have 3 stages. You start with coding and then ML, DL, NLP, GenAI, Agentic AI. But there is a silver lining here. Even if you ignore, let's say, stage 2, there is a way you can directly get started with GenAI. You can still follow it. If you have understood everything in this session, that means you are good to go. So you can learn Python, a bit of Python. I'm not saying you have to learn expert level. Then you can move to Gen AI. Then you can go to Agentic AI. Usually I give a lot of corporate trainings as well. I get a lot of corporate training requests, and this is how corporate trainings are designed as of now. Most of the companies are asking me, like most of the people have Python background. They're asking me to design a 5 day or a 10 day curriculum that has Gen AI and Agentic AI in it, and the background doesn't matter. I have run it in several companies that they do not have this knowledge, but they still could build good AI agents at the end of that program. Coming towards the end, now I want to talk about our company where I teach. We have several instructors here in this group as well. I'm coming from DV Analytics. At DV Analytics, you have almost every training related to data science full stack. We have data analytics, data science, generative AI, deep learning, Python, agentic AI, you name it, we have that course specialization. And our main focus is on hands-on training. We make sure that the applications that you're doing are very much industry oriented. That means when you get hired, we want you to contribute from day one itself, and there will be full-time mentor support, and there are experienced trainers. We are going to introduce a couple of them maybe in the Q&A. The curriculum is up to date. We tend to change our curriculum. We tend to update it every 6 months, making sure that it is up to date with the industry. And we have a huge alumni network where they will also come. They will also interact with you. They will be sharing their experience, and they will be sometimes they may take some mentorship or some of the sessions as well. So DV Analytics, D stands for Devendra, V stands for Venkat. So we are the two founders of DV Analytics, Devendra Das. So Dev sir will also be taking a lot of classes. In fact, we not only just run this company, we are the main trainers here. So I will be taking your classes, Devendra sir will be taking your classes. He's one of the industry veteran. I will also be taking your classes. Apart from us, there are several other trainers who will be, in fact, some of them are so excellently doing in their current roles as well. They will be sharing their experience as well. We have a huge pool of trainers and very well experienced people who are already working on this. So with that, I will now open the forum for questions. I can see that several questions are there, but before that, maybe I will request Dev sir to have a couple of words. All right. I think one question that a lot of people are asking, quickly I have to answer that. Where do I get this PPT, and where do I get this code file and other material documents? I'm trying to share all of them in our community, WhatsApp community group. You can always reach out to DB Analytics, or here also you have our team. You can message them team. You can put the WhatsApp community group here where we are sharing all the PPTs, all the code files. I'll be sharing all the materials over there. You can reach out to that team. Once again, you can put the WhatsApp community link as well as the YouTube live link, but try to join the WhatsApp community link. That is where I will be sharing the files. And the recording will also be shared there itself. So let me unmute Dev sir. Sorry sir. Okay, now I have allowed the participants to unmute, sir. Please go ahead.
Hi guys, thank you so much for joining this workshop. I hope the way this workshop conducted, the practicality which came to you, you understood the difference between this Gen AI, AI agents, and agentic AI. And the current job market is all about people to be hired, those who are having a skill set from Gen AI and agentic AI to automate the whole traditional process. Job opportunities is evolving in the field of Gen agentic AI. Many people they're losing job today because of if they don't have that much confidence or lack of competency towards automating the current process. If you're really looking forward to have a stable job growth and high salary opportunities in India and abroad, yes, this is the right time to get into GenAI and Agentic AI. We have a program which is called Master Program in GenAI Agentic AI. It's just for 2 months program, but these 2 months will make you lots of industry project hands-on, along with the concept that it needs for every industry to start operating for automations. If you're really looking forward to have a better career, secure job, and high paying job at this time, please come forward, join our course, which is for master program in GenAI and Agentic AI. So looking forward to meet you guys. If you really feel like, please do an inquiry and start getting into the coming batch, which is just happening after 10 days from now.
Recording stopped.
Is it virtual class or is it in-person classes?
It is virtual class, definitely completely live
Okay,
and virtual classes.
what
So,
would the
but if you
timing?
really want,
So, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
but if you really want to have some project hands-on coming in the weekends, you can always do. Come to a campus in Bangalore and Bhubaneswar, sit over there. Mentors are there, those who can help you to do hands-on on those projects. But if you want to
Okay.
take it completely online, it is there.
Okay. So actually, I'm a job professional. So what would be the timings for the new classes?
It is weekly 3 days class. It is Friday, 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. and Saturday, Sunday morning, 11 o'clock to 1:30 p.m. But yes, depending on the batch, we will definitely customize the time. But weekly 3 days class, which has to be happened since it is a 2 months program.
Okay, weekly 3 days. It would be 2 to 3 hours.
It is weekdays, yes, 2.5 hours minimum time that we have to spend for this. But whenever the project sessions are there, which we have to do hands-on in the class, it may go for more than 3 hours also.
Okay.
For people who cannot attend in person and taking online, um, how this hands-on or these things worked? Do you provide any kind of a simulation or something
Yeah,
specific?
there are simulation, and also we have our own LMS where we try to
Okay.
engage you as much as with the practicality. So you have to do this. While doing this, you need to have a mentor. We will assign those mentor where you can easily reach out to ask your doubts, clarification, so that you can finish these projects before you get into the job market for approaching it.
Hi, sir.
Hello. Thanks.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes, please go ahead.
will you teach us MLFs also? Like, so whatever
Yes, yes.
Venkat sir told,
Yeah,
like, so is
yeah.
in Colab he teach everything, but in real time you should need to deploy. That is a big
Yes,
problem.
the deployment part, definitely every project is going to end with your deployment using your AWS, Azure, GCP. Both ML ops and LLM ops are going to be a part of it. Otherwise, how will you go and start executing in your current
Hmm.
job or maybe in the new job? It
Yeah.
has to hands-on, and that we will be doing in the classes.
Okay.
Do we
You will do
have
it.
lot
Yeah.
of
One second. I
people
will complete.
talking?
Yeah. You will do it from
I
Azure.
am
I
not
mean,
able to understand. There are too many people asking question and their answers being said. Can you please look into this?
Sure. So the question which came to us, it's all about when we develop this, how should we go for deploying this? Is there any way that we will be taught about ML ops and LLM ops? Answer is yes, we are doing it. That will definitely happen using GCP, that is for Google Cloud Platform, AWS, and Azure. All these three clouds will be using for deployment.
Okay, all these tokens will be provided by you only during the course.
Yeah, whatever supposed to be given, which is not chargeable, we will definitely do it. But if it is chargeable, then we will find a way how to do that.
Yeah, and do we have any breakdown topic level curriculum? So now
Yes, yes, we will
we
be
got,
sharing that.
yeah.
We
So
will be
because,
definitely sharing that to you. After this, we will be sharing the complete course content, what is going to be covered in these 2 months, along with the projects which are going to hands on here from the industry.
yes, so these are the high level topics. Understood. Thanks, Venkat, for explaining. But on top of that, so we want to know on breakdown structure topics. So
Everything,
that, yeah. So
everything
what
will be
would be,
given to you.
okay. So during this journey, you are going to provide, means team is going to provide the infra for the daily development activities.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So what would be the fee if possible?
Yes, we will definitely talk about the fees part, but I don't think that being a faculty to you, if we talk about the fees over in this forum, may not be good for answering
Okay.
everyone's question. We'll definitely talk separately about it. But yes, it is our team, the admin team, they'll take care of it.
Okay.
It
Thank you.
is how it is relevant to data engineering. How these things, Gen or Agentic AI, will help me in data engineering as I am a data engineer.
So the reason why we get into Gen and Agentic AI, it's all about avoiding the redundant nature of the work. If you really feel like the work which you're doing today, it is very much redundant. Find a way how to automate this process. Whether you're a data engineer, whether you're a data scientist, whether data analyst, whether you are a software engineer, or whether you are a developer, everybody, if they have the traditional approach is more towards redundant, it has to be stopped somewhere using Gen and Agentic AI automation.
Devendra, after completing this course, can we expect a 60 to 70 LPA like that?
It's a good question that you asked. I will say this is the time to demand for the salary. If you wait for 6 months, 8 months, there are like people, there are supplies and the demand both are going to be available at the same time. So there are many people coming with the same skills and approaching. Maybe that time the salary competency is going to be featured. But at this time, if you're getting, let's say, I worked in X company, I have spent 4 years, I'm getting 10 lakh salary, having this skill set, how much I can expect? Now you can expect 25, 30 also. 2x to 3x, you can easily expect it. But again, there are certain companies, they look at your job stability. What is your current CTC? They will say, we can give you 30, we can give you 50. You can always go ahead and demand for how much you feel like you are confident to ask for. But if you're asking me, can it be possible to get 2x, 3x? Yes, there are companies those who offers, depending on what current salary you're getting.
If suppose I have 30, then I can get 60, 70 LPA.
30 in last company, how long you worked?
Yeah, it is like 2 years.
2 years last company. And how many years of experience you have totally?
I have totally 8.
Last company is 2 years, 30. And how much you're expecting?
Yeah, I'm expecting like 2x.
See, honestly, I can definitely say would be getting 40 to 50 in between, but you are so confident, keep holding offers and negotiate with the HR. But if I say it is going to definitely happen, I think I'll be giving a false statement, which is not true at this time. There are freshers from our institute has been offered more than 30 lakhs package. It is all depending on how confident you are, what projects you have done, and how differentiating yourself by the time of interview process happen. Every company, they have their own bandwidth, how much they want to offer. But
Mhm.
if you really prove that you are the best, yes. I tell you, the person to whom we referred recently and who has been offered a package of 35, so this guy is not a fresher, fresh in the sense he learned everything from us, but he was having 2 years experience only. He was working for Grant Thornton and the package was 13 lakhs per annum. From there, he jumped to 35 lakhs, which is almost 2x salary. Are you
Mm,
getting it?
yeah, yeah, great.
Yeah, myself Venkat.
Thank
I'm
you.
audible.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Uh, for the experienced professionals, like I have a 20 years of experience in IT, so I'm architect come. So for the question is, with respect to the agentic AI frameworks, right? The thank you to Venkat sir for explaining such an amazing demonstration. So, with respect to the current trends, there are plenty of packages, plenty of tools, plenty of enterprise suits, plenty of ready-made suits are available, like Amazon Bedrock or something, right? So, my question is, in this particular session, especially for the experienced professionals, they already know the ocean of IT, right? So, how this approach will be, whether we will be going through the all the basics of agentic framework, how we used to do in a legacy style, and as well as how the like Amazon Bedrock and we have a Google's, right? Like a plenty. So what kind of approach we will be taking?
Okay, I would really would like to answer after me. I believe Venkat sir will also answer to your question. I just want to give something very special things. You have 20 years of experience. Maybe you are holding a very senior level position today in your company. Now, your company demands they want to start working towards automations using GenAI, Agentic AI, and they want a person who should be able to deliver this project. Now, they are looking at you as a senior level guy. They found that you are not having GenAI Agentic AI knowledge at this time, but they can see a fresher having a GenAI Agentic AI knowledge. Do you think that they can hire the freshers and give your position to him? Answer is no. Why have you reached to this senior level position? Because of a year of experience. Along with that, the people management, project management, and techno functional knowledge which you have. If you have these skills today with your profile, techno-functional, along with your GNA and agentic AI skills, which you learn and portray that yes, you have this knowledge, you have done these projects, and you can definitely start managing such type of automation project in your current company by hiring resources, training them, or maybe you are going to manage their work towards delivering this. That is where they are looking at you as a senior level position. This skill set is very important to you. It is not about how much I can get. It is all about how I can survive with these most recent required skills.
My question is how your course will be different from these YouTube videos. I think in terms of practicals, you will be different. So how much practicals you are giving to the students? Either you are making completely hands-on, like they have worked in industry level for these agentic and Gen AI. As I am a data engineer, so asking this.
Okay, first of all, I think Venki sir should answer this. Venki sir, please go ahead and answer him. It's a very nice question. Please go ahead.
So it will be 100% hands-on. So we will have a blend of like you have seen this demo, right? Like here we have gone very fast. So we will make sure that you understand the concept, and we will be doing a couple of type of hands-on. One is to a kind of problem that we when we solve we get an understanding of the subject, and then project level problems also we will try to do, which will also make us ready for the job. So it will be 100% hands-on. Everything that we discuss in the classroom will be backed up by hands-on projects.
One thing also I want to add here, we have 8 parameters.
Hello,
First of all,
Hello.
let me
hello.
answer this question. Let me answer this question which has been asked. Every course has been designed in a very structured manner from the base to advanced to the expert level. We follow 8 parameters to get trained to a students towards a final placement. The first one, you got to go through those structural course content as a regular classes. Every class followed by certain assignments which you have to complete. Those assignments leading to the industry projects. Once you complete those industry projects, meet the industry mentors who are working in the lifetime life projects. Once you meet this, then the next step is coming towards profile building. How we can help you to design your profile or develop this profile and also make you competent, how you should be approaching for the companies today to get a similar type of job and which is demanding today for Gen and agentic AI. Then once we have a test, you qualify this test, we take your candidature to reach out multiple companies through our alumni as a connections, networking to send those right profile to whom we have selected. And that is how the placement process happens through. So I hope I answered your question. If you go to YouTube, you can definitely learn something. There are very good faculties in YouTube. Those are talking about certain project, but that project is for certain time and is not defined to structural approach, which you learn step by step with us.
Sir, now cloud is moving everywhere, and
Yeah.
in fact, many corporate companies also having the partnership Anthropic,
Right.
company. So how, I mean, the impact will be, because now the cloud is doing everything based on the document. It can automate the things, and it can
It's
develop the
okay.
web applications and everything it can do.
Okay, I just want to tell you something. Every product we have, it comes up with the new features, right? Certain features we like it and we want to implement based on the price and customization. When it comes to Entropy or Claude or GPT, or you're using Gemini or Copilot or any such LLM which is there in the market, it's all depending on that what features they're coming and how compatible it is to you in terms of affordability and the competency measurement. So yes, whether it's Entropy or Claude, everything is having their own way to look at the features and advantages, disadvantages. We have to find out the right place or right one which we need to be trained on.
Hi,
Hello. Hello,
Debendra Das. Greetings to you. First of all, I need to thank Venkat Reddy and you for giving a wonderful session on GenAI and Agentic AI. Let me introduce myself. I'm a HR, having 13 years of experience, and currently working as a HR manager come TA head. See, actually, my boss is always saying that why can't you use agentic AI in recruitment platform? I have certain ideas, and he is always asking me you can use AI tool in order to review certain Excel sheets. So, apart from Claude, okay, what are all the AI tools that I can use in terms of HR platform? Could you please help me out in that?
Okay, so Venki sir, if you can answer him, I will also answer in the end.
So see, there are two ways to solve it. One platform or one AI agent we can create by ourselves. That requires a little bit of time and a lot of testing, but it is not impossible. The other one is there are specific AI tools or agentic AI tools that are available. We can do some research and see whether they are fulfilling all our needs. Then we have to compare our own development, how much time, effort, and what is the API cost that we incur, and what is the cost of that particular tool if we take it from third party. Okay, so if you have your detailed specifications ready, okay, creating our own AI agent is not a really a big task. Okay, it may take time, but slowly, steadily, we will be able to create, if not 100% of the features, more than 90% of the features we can include in that agentic AI system. I think if your features are basic, let's say sorting of the resumes, let's say scoring those resumes, let's say document processing and all that, all those things that if you have seen somewhere it is working, definitely we can make it work. Okay.
And
Sir,
uh,
sir, I
yeah,
would like to answer. Sir, myself, Suresh. I am also part of DV actually. I would like to answer for this
I'll
question.
introduce Suresh sir. Suresh sir, just give me a moment.
Yes,
Suresh
sir.
sir will be one of the key trainers. He himself has built so many agentic AI systems. Okay, he will be giving you actually the industry side of it. Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
recently, Dr. Suresh developed something for his company to support HR, and there are yes 8 resources from the HR team. Uh, they lost their job because of this automation. What he did, Dr. Suresh, could you please go ahead
Yes,
and
sir.
tell about
Yes,
what
yes, sir.
recent automation you did?
Yes, sir. Sir, currently as well, I'm building one tool for this recruitment. Actually, I'll just see. Apart from this tool, there are a lot of use cases that we can build across. Okay, I'll tell you what I am doing right now. So basically, let's say we have all the interview process. Actually, let's say if we are hiring a data scientist for six years of experience candidate, actually, right? There will be a JD attached to it, correct? There will be a Zoom transcript, between the interviewer as well as the candidate, right? And so what happens right now is very simple. Let's say we are building. Just can you go on mute, please? Mute.
Let me mute everyone,
Hello.
then I'll unmute you.
So can you so can you please go on mute? Okay. So what will happen right now? So this is just a one simple use case that we are building. There are a lot of use cases that we can build still. Okay. So let's say there is a interview between interviewer as well as a candidate, and there is a JD, correct? And so whatever the interviewer feedback on the candidate is not so potential, is not in a proper order that we can share it with the candidates, right? So what will happen in this case, it's a very simple use case actually, right? So let's say there is a one agent actually, correct? That agent, right, will go to Outlook, right? So Outlook is a tool for the agent. That Outlook has, like, a JD, has the candidate resume, right, has the transcript between the the interviewer as well as the candidate, right? Now inside there is a system that we have built using these LLMs actually. Now inside LLM, correct, we have given a lot of weightages actually. Let's say for the data scientist candidate, for the Python programming, we'll give a 20% weightage, and for statistics we'll give a 30% weightage, for ML we'll give a 30%. So like that, we have also given a lot of a metadata to LLM actually, correct? Now once this, the agent will pick the transcript and JD, everything to that system, it passes, right? Now AI itself will write a summarized output of what is the interview feedback actually, whether he's selected or he is not selected, correct, right? Now AI itself will write that feedback, right? Then AI itself will integrate it to the Outlook, right? That will send to HR, right? Then HR can easily communicate with what, the candidate. Okay, so here any, so what, every interviewer has a different way of writing a feedbacks actually, right? Sometimes it's not up to the mark, and sometimes there is a mal practicing as well actually, correct, right? A lot of people gives feedback for his favorite candidates, right? If somebody has referred, correct, right, if somebody has referred with his circle, correct, right, and he might send his resume to someone else, correct, right, and he takes an interviewer, right? But there is a communication between what, definitely there is a communication between interviewer and the candidate, right? That is called a transcript. That transcript will go to AI itself will summarize and give the final output. Okay, so this is the one use case that we can build in HR. Okay, apart from these use cases actually, from resume screening to interview scheduling to onboarding the candidate to giving his the first day of things to, okay, everything can be automated by AI. Okay, I have done this recently. So that is what Devsar was saying, that I think some 8 to 10 HRs last day jobs. Okay, see, because every what regular things every what things which is going ongoing activities can be easily automated through what AI systems. Okay, AI can screen the resumes, AI can see for this job whether does he fit it or not, right? It's nowhere required someone who should see the resume and give okay, this is a fit, okay, let's go with this. Nothing, everywhere it can be automated. I hope you understand the use case.
One more thing I want to add here, most recently in HSBC, when they get a resume, they shortlist this resume looking at the JD. They are using agents, those who are doing that. Secondly, they are conducting one psychometric test. Automatically, resume is getting shortlisted. That email goes to the candidate for this assessment, which is called psychometric test. Through the psychometric test, anybody has been selected, automatically there is a pop-up is going for their video recording. There are certain questions which is given, and the person has to look at the system and they have to answer. While they're looking at the system, they should not be capturing any chat GPT or Gemini Copilot where they can see those answers to be answered. And they also capture the face movement so that they can see that this person genuinely answering, and looking at the lips movement also, this AI is being
Deepfake,
captured.
deepfake technologies, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is what they're doing today. And once the system is saying this candidate is shortlisted for the next round, then this person is called for the face to face today. So what these HRs are doing actually, they're automating most of this process so that they can find the right candidate with the limited time spent for choosing those resources. And that is how the process is being so productive today at HSBC and Citibank. I hope certain things what they have developed, being a person joining this GenAI, Agentic AI, going through such type of transitions, you can yourself start developing new techniques, methodology, which you can talk about that this is what I have recently developed and which can help the organization. Being an HR professional, you can opt for it and demand for a very high paying career ahead.
Is Anthropic is something different from this agentic AI, or it will
Anthropic is
kill
one of these.
agentic AI generally?
Anthropic is also one of these application which you have to go through. There must be something positive, advantages, disadvantages. We have to find out how to utilize every other such LLM which is required to go through and executing your agents to start performing good.
Actually, I think the challenge is, if I can add, because of so many models and things from different players, organizations, it's almost the same thing. Like you have different softwares, you need to be kind of conversant or have a knowledge of, so that you can then understand which one to use, which one may have a beneficial case for which scenario or a business case or use case, and which one is to be used for where. So
Exactly.
that's the challenge
Exactly.
actually from the industry perspective, which I see as a point of view. The other thing, if I can add, is everyone is going to create kind of a similar use cases, rebranding something differently. I may say I work for an organization. I work for Genpact actually. So a lot of transformations and things internally for clients is at a very higher force right now. But what I see is a challenge is the use cases may be kind of a same with different branding and everything going on. Uh, Now, then it will be difficult to uh, how to showcase what is the best or sell what is the best in the market, or how to offer it for consumption basically. And all depends on the kind of a trusted product. That is also one of the key concern from the AI perspective. As you started the session, I paused, took that thought in
No,
the
it is
mind
already
towards the
there.
end, because
It is already there. It
yeah.
is already there to how to avoid this hallucination. Definitely, we will be going through this part, and ultimately, the development which has to be going very authenticated and that has to be accepted. That's the main focus area while you're developing and following the
Yeah,
evap process.
yeah, because eventually it is the IP or intellectual property, basically the same thing as IT
Yes.
follows.
Just to add one point here,
Uh,
okay.
Please.
Basically, uh, see what people are thinking right now is so let's say we have a ML models, right? So you can validate ML models. So let's say if you're building a classification, you can evaluate with precision recall, whatever it is, right? If you're building a regression models, there is a evaluation matrix. But what people are thinking still now is LLM is very huge, right? You cannot control the output of LLM, right? There is a hallucinations, and if you talk about RAG, or if you talk about any agent output, whatever it is, so people are thinking that there is no methodology to evaluate the systems, right? No, actually there are a lot of evaluation metrics, right, for everything, be it from RAG to agent to MCP to everywhere, right? There are a lot of methodologies to evaluate the systems that people doesn't know because lack of knowledge, right? See, people are saying that 80% and 90% of the solutions are getting failed in the industry of whatever the AI systems are getting failed. I don't know why they are getting failed, because due to only lack of knowledge, right? We can control the output. It is just we should know how to control it. It is just we should know how to act upon it. It is just we should know what to use where. So I'll tell you one example, okay? I think I keep repeatedly telling this one. So there are a lot of libraries. There is like Google ADK, OpenAI ADK, LangChain, LangGraph, Autogen, Cree, everything, right? So people are thinking, oh, everyone are used to build agents. Then what is the difference? But people doesn't know what is the difference, because when I take interviews, I have asked this question: what is the difference between LangChain and LangGraph? What is the difference between LangGraph and what Autogen? People are not able to tell. They are saying, sir, it is just used to build agents. That is the lack of knowledge, right? So that is where we are coming up with the courses, right? We want to educate people what exactly, like how exactly each library works, how LLM systems works, how to control that output, and what to put upon it. So that is where our course is coming up. That is the bridge that we are trying to fill up.
So are we covering graph rag also as part of this
Yeah,
course?
exactly. Yes, yes.
Nice
And
advice,
MCP also, I guess, is part of the
Definitely.
course.
No, definitely MCP is a must and should, because see, let's say, see again, see, I think I was just answering the chat. I think when I joined at 7:30, people are talking about in a healthcare system. we have, so we wanted to get the data from different sources, how do we get that? There are multiple options, right? But as you said, agent is a combination of tools plus what, prompts plus, what then actions and everything, right? So how do we give that access? See, let's say if one agent wants to talk to multiple tools, right, then we cannot, have that multiple tools integration, right, at what one place. Definitely we want a system which can take care of it. That is where the MCP can come up, model context protocol. Yes, we definitely cover that in this course.
Yeah, I work in the healthcare domain actually. So we have a lot of IDP unstructured data requirements to do, I mean, run insights on that. So that's why I thought of asking that.
Yes.
And one last question: what front end are we going to use in case we build chatbots? Are we going to use Streamlits? Because I have found it to be very slow and not very good for heavy, heavyweight applications.
No, see, Streamlit and Streamlit Flask, or if you want to use any other web application, like JavaScript, all those things, right? See, these are just a front end part. Got it, right? These are just a front end part. See, Streamlit is very slow, but it all depends on, where you are, running that system. Actually, let's say you are, see, let's say if you are utilizing, heavy model, right, which is having so many GBs of, the weights actually, and if you're trying to run on a system where the RAM is very less, definitely it'll become a slow actually, right? Streamlit is not slow, right? Streamlit is very good front end, as an initial, setup. It is just a front end. See, we being a, what, a engineers and all, we shouldn't care about the front end part, right? So see, the front end is just like how it looks to us, correct, right? It all matters is a backend, because we being a data scientist, or engineers, our focus should be only on the backend side of it, right? Definitely, but we'll cover here, I think, Streamlit and Flask. I like either one of them will cover.
So for backend, you mean fast APIs and all that will be used.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Hi, sir. Myself, Madhu.
Yeah.
So I'm from QA background. My 10 years, I have currently 10 years of experience. So in these 10 years, this is my third company currently I'm working on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In each company, I served more than first company 2.5 years, then 4.5 years. The current company is also 3.5 years, still
Mm-hmm.
working. So how this course will, help for the QA engineer or else QA engineer? I'm a completely manual test engineer, functional test
You are a
engineer.
manual or Selenium engineer?
No, no, pure manual test engineer.
Mm,
So how this course can we upskill for this one, or else is
definitely.
it possible to
So what is the domain that you, currently working on? See, I
completely?
think.
Completely, I'm into banking domain. The
Okay.
technologies, the applications which are built on Pega technology.
Okay, I'll tell you one quick thing. Okay, so right now, how are you, generating the test cases? You are generating manually, na?
Manually, sometimes we use Copilot as well, that
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
integrated to
Copilot.
tools.
So
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
Copilot is a AI here, correct, right? So what you can do, so let's say you can build a AI systems, correct, right? Which is maybe GenAI or any agentic system, which can write your, which will help you to build auto test case generation. Which means, immediately. See, let's talk about if you want to write 100 test cases. So how much time does it take for you now? Like if you don't use this Copilot and all, usually no, 2 to 3 days, right?
Definitely.
Definitely, right. So definitely, but with this system, if you build it now, that 2 to 3 days can be, what, decrease to 2 to 3 minutes actually. Correct, right? And that's the
Mhm.
one case. Then, so you are also trying to create a synthetic data, right? Maybe you're trying to create some, test data generation and all that and all, right? So that also will take a lot of time to create actually. With this you can easily do it, okay? And see, if you want to write a bug report, correct, right? So
Mhm.
what, so GenAI or any agent can help you to write, what, initial draft, correct, right? Which can automatically say that, like, this will like failure, or this will, like, work, or like, whatever it is, right? So that, so you can definitely automate that process with this approach. Actually, you can build this, like, systems which is AI systems, correct, right? Which can do
Mm-hmm.
auto test
Mm-hmm.
case generations, which can do, like, test data generation, which can do bug report writings, which can do the code review assistance, which can create up, like, the final documentation, so that you want to send to the developers, right? So this is where the bug is coming up, this is where the system is failing up, right? You can have that,
Mm-hmm.
the detailed documentation, you'll be able to create it and send it to them. So basically that can be easily automated actually.
Okay, okay, that's fine because I don't have any coding background.
No worries, no worries,
So,
no worries. We will see. I see this course will start from, like, Python actually, right? So then we'll slowly dig into like, deep learning, how LLMs are trained on. You don't need any background here, right? We will teach
mm,
you everything.
okay, what is the duration of this course?
This is close to 2.5 months course.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
Suresh, this
okay.
is Srinivas here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, same like Madhu. So I have 15 years of IT experience in completing to manual testing. I mean, like I have used automation. I mean, like 4 years, 5 years back. So that's for POC. But I have some little knowledge on the Python. So that's what until now I'm using only manual test cases in Jira, where we are using some plain test or BDD sometimes.
Hmm.
So how I can able to automate that test cases or reporting generation and all.
Very good,
So
sir.
whether
Exactly. Hmm.
this course is fit for me, whether I need to move it to automation side or into data analysis side.
Now I'll tell you, sir. I'll tell you simple part. Okay, so let's talk about if like, somebody has created like, some, like, tickets in a Jira, correct, right? So
Mm.
how you used to do now? You used to pick that Jira ticket, then you used to solve that manually, correct now? Then
Yes,
you
yes.
used to go to the codes. You used to like, run some tests actually. So then, like, so wherever you find a bug or issue that you what used to solve it is a manual process, correct, right?
Mhm.
Now do one thing, set up an agent, right? Give access to that, like, which is a Jira access actually, correct, right?
Mhm.
Agent will go pick, agent will monitor. So is there any new tickets which are created actually? Then agent also will try to like, rate, say based upon, like, who has created that ticket actually, correct, right? So
Mhm.
based upon that, it will also try to, like, rate, like, the urgency of the ticket actually, correct, right? Whether that ticket needs to be solved in 2 days, that ticket needs to be solved within 1 hour, 2 hours and all, correct, right? So
Yeah.
based upon the text which is written over the ticket actually, correct, right? Your
Yes.
agent can easily analyze and, like, can tell you, okay, this should be solved in within 2 hours actually, correct, right? So
Yes.
those major tickets can be picked up by AI, correct, right? Then that, like, that testing part, see, like, wherever like, the code is running actually, let's say let's say code be running in a UAT actually, correct, right?
Mhm.
Give that
Mhm.
UAT access to it, this agent again, right?
Okay.
This agent can execute a code, okay? It leave about writing a code, okay? Agents
Mhm.
can execute a code actually, correct? Definitely, I think AI can write a code easily. With that
Yes.
also, like, what, AI can execute the code, and it will, so wherever the system is getting failed, it can analyze why this system is getting failed, right? And it can also give the solutions, documentation. So this completely can be automated actually.
Okay.
Everything can be automated easily actually.
Okay.
Okay, hope you got it.
Yeah, yeah, got it. Because
Okay.
we face some issues while doing the automation because my project is a Windows-based application where we have every fraction of seconds it will change some graphs.
Yes,
So we
yes,
can't able to predict those graphs. So whether how AI can able to predict that particular graph value and all.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
So for those have a programming background, like extreme programming background, or like for the seniors, do we have any like a fast track? Like I do want to learn from all the full basics and all like that. Right? I understand there are a non-programming background and there are some seniors I can see. Right? So those no programming and all. they know some of those. They don't
Yeah.
need a spoon feeding. Any such a advanced level course where something like that?
No, I'll tell you one thing. See, the programming in the sense, see, it's not required, a complete end-to-end Python programming where we'll cover 15 days to 1 month. It is not required here actually, because whatever the programming that we read, I think if you see whatever Venkat sir was doing earlier, the coding, it's completely a kind of a library calling actually. You import the library, you just fit the data, you that will be able to do it everything for you. See, even in deep learning or AI, right, guys, just think about, okay, so when you want to write everything from scratch actually, see, I'll tell you one simple thing. When I was in Google, I was working on the TensorFlow actually. Okay, so in see, I hope you know about the TensorFlow library. That's a deep learning part actually. So now, what I think you know already programming bit about deep learning. Say there, when you want to do the forward propagation, backward propagation, weight updation, loss function calculations, and all, you think about how much time it is used to take, to write a code if I want to write it, in my application actually. So for that itself, I'll use a lot of time. So that's why what these big companies are coming up, right? So these are coming up. See, even I I was also part of the TensorFlow development actually, right? So they will write code everything from backend, correct, right? They will give it as an open source library. You just have to use that open source library and call it. So coming back to your question, in the similar format, right, everything is predefined and every code is pre-written. You just have to call the functions and build the agents, build the systems, that's it. Okay, you don't need the programming which is required for the software, what a developer actually, it is not actually, right? So we will cover very basic program around like a week. Okay, so we will take around 10 to 15 hours of time, and we will try to cover the Python what is required for this, that's it. Okay, we will not go ahead do everything. So if you want to skip that 1 week, okay, of the classes, you can definitely skip and go for the next week directly with the deep learning part. Got it?
All right. All right. Thank you.
No worries. Anyone, any other questions? Mahendra, you raise your hand.
Yes, Suresh. Actually, my background is DevOps. Actually, currently
Ah,
uh, I'm working on Kubernetes and Azure Cloud, as well as Docker and GitHub Actions, as well as the YAML files. I'm
very
dealing
good.
with this those things. How it will be if you learn the AI course? If it will be useful in my career in the sense my daily life, it will be better, easy. At the same time, it will be good for my career, and at the same time, any certifications also available for this course.
Okay. So I hope if you know DevOps, I think you might have already heard about this thing called as MLOps, right?
Yes, MLOps.
I'll tell you one thing. Okay, so maybe I'll just give the overview of that. Okay, so recently we built agentic framework, right? I think you know, right, MLOps, when there is a data coming up, correct, right?
Yeah.
So you need to track the data because you need to see the data drift in the production pipeline, correct, right? When the model is in the production, actually, you need to see if there is a data drift or not, because if there is a data drift, your model will not be able to give that what a proper predictions actually, correct? So you need
True.
to see if there is a data drift, and you need to immediately retrain the models and all those things, correct, right?
Correct.
Now we have done one system where we have built some agents actually, correct? Agents can see if there is any data drift. Okay,
Okay.
agents will itself run a hypothesis testing actually. Let's say what is the data yesterday versus what is the data today. Right, so what is the data today versus what is the data 15 days back, correct, right? It
Yes.
does the hypothesis testing there, correct, right? And
Yes.
it will send us, or it will give a triggers, or it will give a notifications that boss there is a data drift, correct, right? You need to
True.
check it. It does a normal distribution, it does the statistics text, correct, right? It will
Yes.
do everything, and it will send us the alerts that there is a data drift, please check, right?
Okay.
Then with one click actually, correct, right, then the agents go and execute the complete pipeline, right, from data pre-processing to outlet treatment to again the same. Okay, this is in the MLOps side of it actually. You
Mhm.
got it right.
Got
Now
it.
I think you know about so I think in the Docker side as well, right? So
Correct.
if you have let's talk about if you are writing a Docker, right? There are a lot of Docker use cases actually, because you can generate a Docker file, correct, right? The
Yes.
image optimization can be done, correct, right? And
Correct.
what the container security scanning, right? So agents automatically scan the Docker images for any, if there is any outdated packages, or if there is any security risk before deployment and all. You got it right.
Yes.
And what agents continuously monitor the container logs also, and it detects errors, and it detects anomalies in all, correct, right? So
Yes.
when it comes to the Kubernetes use cases, right? Okay, so GenAI, like these agents now can automatically write the Kubernetes deployments also, services, config YAML files, and everything. Okay, and also if you talk about the scaling now, I think you know about auto scaling decisions, right? So
Exactly.
whenever there is a high loads actually, correct, right? So
Yeah.
agentic AI monitors the cluster load actually, right, and autonomously scales pods up and down based upon the real time traffic, right? All these
Exactly.
things can be done in an AI part. Okay, and
Okay.
also when it comes to CI/CD pipeline, actually I have built this. Okay, in a CI/CD pipeline, Jenna writes full CI/CD pipeline script for Jenkins, GitHub Actions, GitLab. Okay, everything
Okay.
it can write a complete like the scripts.
Okay. Okay.
You don't worry, you can do a lot of things with DevOps.
Okay. Okay.
No,
Great.
no, no. So because I did recently one product for MLOps, maybe
Mhm.
obviously DevOps and MLOps are same. DevOps is for software engineering, MLOps is for ML engineering. That's it. Okay.
Exactly.
Apart from no more changes, right?
Yeah.
So that everything can be done. See, definitely what see the bottom of the line, right?
Mhm.
GenAI or agentic AI in a DevOps means you can do the faster deployments, you can do the self-healing infrastructure, correct, right?
Yes.
You
Correct.
can lower the cloud costs, right? More
Yes.
reliable what systems that you'll be able to build it here actually.
Okay. Yeah. Even I can, for example, right now currently I'm working Azure cloud as well as the AWS cloud. I can using for agents can my cost optimization also I can do it. That's what.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Sure.
Got
Yeah.
yes.
Is there any certification and the end of the course?
Yes, yes, we do provide a certification at the end of the course. Okay,
Uh,
that whatever you have done the project, and we'll also give you the projects. So once the project you're done and submitted, so we'll also give the projects. Sorry, certifications actually.
okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Mahendra, done.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Shivram Yadav, I think you raised your hand.
Yeah, Suresh. Like you are going to complete the course in 2.5 months or 3 months means like how many projects is going to cover in this like
We'll be covering around 5 to 8 projects actually. Okay, 5 to 8 projects across the different domains. Okay, so we'll pick one from software engineering. Okay, how to automate the complete system, and we'll pick one from a DevOps side. Okay, how to automate the complete processing, and we'll pick something from banking side. We'll pick something from travel. We'll pick something from maybe some other telecom. So from different domains and from different info related types we will pick we'll cover around 5 to 8 projects.
hmm
Yeah.
so end to end like full stack you are going to do like not like Hugging Face and all these things right directly in the cloud only you can deploy it all
No,
this
no, no. Hugging Face is not a developer, right? Hugging Face is just like a GitHub or something like that, where you'll be able to find a data sites where you'll be able to find a open source LLMs and all. Correct, right? So what we will do here, okay? So to develop any code or to develop any systems, we will definitely use a Google Colab actually. Okay. So the reason why we use Google Colab, because in a local, so everybody might have a ram less, okay, maybe ram 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB, maybe more or less, right? So that's why we will use the cloud systems. In most of the companies also will use a cloud system. They will have their separate VMs actually, which is a virtual machines actually. So that's why here also we will use a Google Colab, right? If required, maybe when we are doing the fine tuning part, we'll be able to fine tune. Maybe we'll also purchase some RAM from a Google Colab, and so that will definitely help us for the speeding the things actually. Hugging Face is not to develop any code or things. See, this is just like a place where you will get a lot of what you can also contribute there, maybe any data sets for LLMs, or maybe you can also build your own SLMs, which is a small language models, and contribute there. It is just like a place where you can get the system, what like LLMs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I am from iOS mobile application development side.
Hmm?
Is there any use if I learn mobile application side like Android or iOS, these platforms? It is only completely for backend.
So you are not developing any front end, right?
No, iPhone, Android application, mobile application, right? Like Redbus, all
Uh,
these kind of
so
applications.
okay, so basically, so now how are you like are you writing any like Swift code for iOS like iOS?
Yeah.
You got
Swift
it right?
language we are using. Yes, correct.
Exactly. Okay, so basically, I think Swift code for iOS, and I think Kotlin or Java for Android, right?
Kotlin
Kotlin,
for
right?
Android.
Kotlin.
Yeah,
I think people uses Java also, no?
Java olden days, now Kotlin.
Now they use Kotlin. Okay, see definitely see like you can like see Kotlin or Swift code generation can be done with GenAI easily actually. Okay, and also it'll also help you to generate the UI components as well. Okay, I think so. Have you heard about there's something called I don't remember properly. There's something called Jetpack. Have you heard about it? That is the one
Yeah,
UI
yeah,
component for Android.
yeah. Jetpack Compose. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So it will help you. So this A agents or Gen AI will help it to automatically design. Okay. It like help you to design that, and or like let's say if you want to integrate this Jetpack Compose or any Swift code to any of the third party systems like maybe any other third party URLs, right? Okay. It will also write. So this will be able to write you the complete API integration code, maybe REST API or any other API parts and all.
Yeah, we can develop any agent to build this
Yes,
mobile
yes,
apps.
yes, exactly. So that is just a code generation part actually. Okay. Then testing side, designing side and all, like you can build things like let's talk about so once you build one agent actually, correct, right? So from from the code generation to execution to testing to designing, let's talk about if you want to design any of the UX, correct, right? Let's talk about you want to deploy this application to any of the p- play store or app store and all, right, correct, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Janney also writes a compelling app store, the description, release notes, keywords and everything it'll be able to write actually. And it'll
Mhm.
be able to track the crash log analysis, which is see so, sometimes agents also can analyze the firebases, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
it can report all the crash reports and all.
Yes.
You got
Okay.
it right. So this can be easily done there. Because I see, because in my entire career I've seen so people so coming to me like with these background DevOps testing and these Android people, I have helped them to build their projects. So that's why I know these projects. That's it. So I'm saying that you can definitely do this one.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other
Mm.
questions? I think Ishwar Boyana.
Yeah. So I want to ask one more question that as a business analyst, I'm working as a business analyst, having a 5 year of experience, how this will help me to automate all the documentation things through the meetings, MOMs. I have lots of work on Excel and Python. How I can do that?
Okay. Right now, so what is the task that you're doing? You will be interacting with the business teams and interacting back with the developers, and you're trying to bridge a gap between them, correct, huh?
Yeah, I'm working as a gap between the them. This is the first scenario. Second
Mm-hmm.
scenario, I'm taking all the requirements from the stakeholders.
Mm.
And third, I'm mostly working on Excel and Python. A little bit of Python, Excel, SQL, and most of the is thing is on Excel only.
Okay. So let's talk about you have a minutes of meeting actually, correct, right?
Yes, yes,
You
correct.
can build a minutes of you can build one agent, correct, right? So that
Mm.
agent automatically transcribe the meeting records and generate the structured what MOM based upon with what is action items, what is the decisions that they have made, and what is the what are the priority items and everything actually. Correct, right?
So,
After
so
that, yeah.
okay. So for this, we have to record the meeting, or we have to just can you explain a little bit on this?
No, no, you can record the meeting. Okay, so from that you can get the transcription actually, correct? Or like if you
Okay.
have if you have already generated transcription and all, correct, right?
Okay.
You can just pass it to agent. So or what LLM that can be easily done actually. Okay, and
Okay.
let's talk about if you want to generate any agenda, correct, right? So generate it
Okay.
what is automatically draft meeting agendas based upon a previous what is it MOMs actually. Okay, it can take some actions what against any open action items, correct, right?
Mm,
Maybe let's talk about so you want to analyze the sentiment of the meeting. Okay, let's talk about so based upon the
mm,
transcript that you have given to the GenAI or Agentic AI, it will identify if the stakeholder are angry or they are concerned or
oh,
they are confused, they are aligned on a key topics or not, everything, correct, right? And when it comes
okay.
to this Excel use cases, right, like you're talking about, you are maybe you might be doing VLOOKUP or maybe like
Yes, lot of time.
all those things, right? So I'll tell you very simple part. You can just build one AI, correct, right? That you
Mm-hmm.
can build one like one AI system, right? Like you just give the so what is that that NLP text actually, correct, right? So
Okay.
from the NLP text, it can easily go to Excel data. It can write a SQL queries. Maybe it's not only Excel data set. Okay, if you have a data in any of the other databases like big data, SQL, Postgres, wherever it is,
Mm-hmm.
correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can easily write a SQL queries, execute it, and build a dashboards. It can do the data cleaning, correct, right? And it can
Okay.
generate the reports, lot of things. And when it comes to your core concepts, like I think you might be generating the BRD, which is a business requirements documents for them,
Yes, yes, yes,
right? Jenny
yes.
also can do that. Okay, it can help you to write a story, it can help you to write what user stories, correct, right? And the
Yeah,
process flow
correct.
diagrams actually, correct, right? uh,
Hmm.
lot of things you can definitely do this one.
Okay, okay. Tell me one more thing. If I have to get a weekly report, like I have a CRM, let give me, I have own CRM called Udo for my company. If I want to get data from from that CRM on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, can I automate that thing?
Yes, yes, yes. You can so what you can do is you can definitely trigger the agents every week. Okay, you can so that is a software engineering part. Okay, so you can I think if you are using like what it maybe any of the maybe AWS or things, right? So there
Uh,
are some tools, there are some services available which is called a CloudWatch triggers actually, correct, right? So what you can do, you just keep a trigger, correct, right? Which means okay, I want this system, this agent system or this LLM system to be triggered every week actually, correct, right? It can
okay.
easily trigger what every week. Okay, it can go to the database, it can get the data, it can report the data. That
It can
is
it
ex-
automatically take all the formulas, all the
yes,
sequence, everything.
yes, yes.
Okay,
But
okay.
so whatever this triggering system that you're talking about, right? This is
Uh,
not exactly what do you say, that agentic things. It's a software engineering side that can be done very simple. But any system can be triggered based upon the what events actually.
okay, okay. Done,
Okay,
done. Okay.
right. Very good.
Thank you.
Okay, Renuka, you are your animal. Hello. Okay, Ishwar Boyra. Yes.
Thank you for the session. I have a question. Like as Raj, I'm also working as a product manager. So after completion of this course, what kind of job roles we can aim for? And second question is, would you help us in creating a profile, something like the techies have GitHub profile, or also will you teach us with evals? These three are the questions which I have.
What is the third one actually?
They're asking for evals, evaluations like LLM output evals.
Ah, okay,
It's
okay,
called
no problem.
HILT, human in the loop.
Okay, just to answer your the first question, which is what are the roles which are available after this course, right? So right now, so can I know what you're doing actually? You are, I think you might be owning one product, correct?
Yeah.
So one or two products actually.
It is similar to business analysis. I
It's
worked as a
similar to
product
business
manager.
analysis,
Yeah,
exactly. So you talk to developers and you talk to business stakeholders, correct?
yeah,
And you will make the things to like happen in a very quicker manner, correct, right?
correct.
The roles after this is like simple part. Right now you are a product manager actually, correct, right? So definitely you can become a AI product manager. You can just add a AI flavor to it. I'll tell you why. Okay, so yesterday we had a like guys, this is everybody should understand this part. Yesterday I was having like call with my VP actually. Okay, so I'm also currently working. Okay, so when I'm talking to my VP, okay, he told very clearly what he wanted. Okay, he said that if you are hiring a DevOps engineer, hire DevOps plus AI. If you are hiring a product manager, hire product manager plus AI. If you are hiring a software engineer, hire software engineer plus AI. They are not expecting you to build a lot of things. At least you should know AI. You should know how the system works, correct? So to come back to your question, correct, if you are a product manager, if you learn this AI part, correct, right, there are a lot of options. Like you can become an AI product manager, you can become an agentic AI product manager actually, right? Which means you can specifically manage the product built around autonomous agents, right? You can define agent behavior, you can define the workflows, you can define the guardrails and all, right? So there are around I think there are 7 to 8 roles which will be waiting for you after this course. That's the first question. And the second question is, you said that you want to set up some GitHub, like so what is that you said?
Profile of the projects which you have done.
So the profile of the work that you have done.
The projects which we work here.
Yeah, definitely. See, you can showcase that in a GitHub. Okay, you can showcase that in a GitHub. Okay, that GitHub link you can put it in your resume actually. Correct, right? And like whoever wants to see those projects, maybe let's say if I am hiring you, example, right? If I want to see your work, so definitely I will go to that GitHub link and I'll see like what are the projects that you have done, like how well structured kind of system that you have built. So definitely we'll be able to see you, right? So that is what. Okay, and fourth and the third question that I wanted to tell, you said like evaluation of the agents, correct, right? Let's say a lot of people might be saying that okay, there is a hallucination from the agents and LLMs. Like I want to control the output, correct, right? So that's what that is what the concern you have.
Correct.
Yeah, definitely yes. Okay, you will be able to learn from this course how to control the output, how to like evaluate the agents, how to build an agent as like judge, how to build LLM as a judge. Yes, definitely you will be able to understand a lot of things here. We'll teach you that. Okay, any more? I think
Yeah.
Shrestha.
Hi. Hi, Venkat Reddy.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. This is Renuka. Actually, I'm working as from 10 years experience as a lead content programmer. We work. It's like a client specific. We will create a content on the desired platform, whatever they have given. Okay. For bug tracking and all, we use Jira, and for testing purpose and all accessibility, we will use JAWS and NVDA. Okay, whatever we are doing the coding part, it's not like a known language like Python or whatever, R or some other things. It is not like a known language. Okay, so I'm not sure like if I learn this course, how I can go further with this my career.
Okay. So currently you are working in the content creation, right?
Content programmer, lead content programmer. Yeah.
So basically, you might be writing a blogs, articles, social media posts. So those things, is it?
No, it's like we will create. It's like a front end, similar to a like a front end developer. You mean like clients are like McGraw-Hill and Pearson from US. For those universities and colleges, online platform will be there, right, for examination for students and all.
Yeah.
So their backend programming we will create. So that is the work we will do. And so for bug tracking and all, we will use Jira for conversation with the clients and all, for reporting everything. We will use Jira.
Jira is just to raise a ticket, correct?
Okay. Yeah.
And
Yes.
so whatever the ticket that that they'll raise, it's just to take an actions on that, correct now?
Yes, exactly. But from the Jira only, we will pull the data and we will share that to the team members, the performance data also. But every time we have to load the from Jira, the data we have to pull and we have to do the some exercise and all we have to do. It's taking a lot of time for us
Very
actually.
good. So you can, so why don't you build an agent there? Okay, I think I was telling the same thing to others. I think for the testing that I was talking, right?
Okay.
Why don't you why don't you build a agent there which will be tracking that Jira ticket, correct, right? Let's say every day, if the 10 tickets are created, actually, example, correct, right?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
That 10 tickets, based upon what you read, what you open the ticket and what you read, you will get to know, like, how quickly you want to solve the ticket. Is it in a 1 hour or 2 days, correct? No, correct.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Now, so once you build one agent there, that agent will be able to understand, so what is the SLA for that? Correct, right? Like, how much, so within what time I have to, like, finish this, within what time I have to, like, close the ticket, actually. Correct, right?
Yes.
Definitely, what agent can track that. Definitely, agent can understand what is the issue with this ticket. Correct now?
Yes.
Now, agents can go and whatever the data accessibility that you will give to what agent to solve the ticket. So now you tell me one thing. So once you pick up the ticket, okay, after that, what is your work, actually?
Like testing team will report the issues in that Jira ticket. So we will find the issues and we will fix that in our coding level.
Coding level, correct, right?
Yes. Yes.
Now, so you are doing like more or less like a work as a what, like, this is a testing engineer only, actually, correct, right? They'll
Okay.
raise a ticket, correct now. So the developers will raise a ticket that, okay, this is the issue, correct. So
Yes.
then you will take that ticket and you will go and fix the code, actually, correct now. You go and
Yes.
fix the code,
Exactly.
and that code should work in a, like, very systematic format. So why don't
Yes.
you build agents can pick, like, like what, like, a complete a Jira tickets, and
Mhm.
it can give the priority in terms of the order which one to solve first, right? Then it can pick one ticket, and, like, once you give a complete metadata to the agent, actually, correct, right? Then
Okay.
that agent give an accessibility as a tool where the code is running, actually. Then the agents can understand, okay, see how you understand, right? Okay, so let's talk about the rise the ticket. So I need
Okay.
to go and fix it here. So like that agent also will take some decisions and actions, and it can go and fix it and what execute it. So it can be done like easily, right? You
Yeah.
no need to worry about it.
Okay. Okay.
See, i'll
If
i'll
I
tell you,
want to
be
change
your
the
proactive.
job,
No,
like if I want to change the job, okay.
mhm.
So with this 10 years of experience of the with this designation, and Python and all only basics I know. I don't have much knowledge on ML or DL, whatever it is there. Okay. So how I can go? How what will be the future? I mean, in which way I can go? Like,
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. So most of the people don't know this. Okay, most of the people have a misconception that, okay, sir, if I'm like, 5 years experience, or if I'm 10 years experience, should I go it as a fresher? Correct, right? No, no, no.
mm,
You should not go it as a fresher. You people are not a freshers, right? You
yeah.
people are already having 10 years of experience or 5 years of experience, right?
Mm,
Always, IT experience matters a lot, right? See, technology comes and goes, correct, right? See today, say for example, today it's a Gen AI, right? So tomorrow it's what, something else. So day after tomorrow it's what, something else, actually. Do you think, right, whoever are the Gen AI what engineers now, they have started their careers as a Gen AI engineers only? No, right? They are into other, like, what, systems, actually. They are
mm,
into other domains, actually. They have learned Gen AI and they have moved. How they have moved? Let's talk about, once you, like, finish this course, ma'am, correct,
mm,
right? It's a
mm,
very quite simple part, right? You have to do a project, like, whatever the domain you are in now, actually, correct, right? Let's talk
okay.
about, now you are in a test engineering things, correct, right?
Mm,
Now you have to do a capstone project in that only. So whatever the idea that I gave you right now, correct, right?
okay.
You build one agent to track a Jira tickets, it can go and fix it, correct, right?
Mm,
Show that project in a resume, correct, right? When you
okay.
change a job, correct, right, you have
Mm,
to explain this one. Okay, I was building an agentic system, correct, right? So for so and so, like task actually, correct, right? So because of this I have automated this one, correct, right? So like
Yes.
that you need to explain them what you have done in the current system. You should not explain that I was just solving the Jira ticket and all. Okay, so then
Okay.
people thinks that okay, you are completely new to the what job, you are completely new to this tech stack actually. That should not happen. You need to showcase this experience as what is Gen AI or what agentic AI experience actually.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
it sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Guys, anyone? Okay. I think Shashi Bhushan. 1 minute. I came from 15 years background in power and steel plant automation. With this Gen AI agentic AI course, will be use cases like SAP automation. Yes, sir. You can do it, sir. You can definitely do it. Okay, we will help you there. I think most of the use cases I know, a lot of use cases which I don't know. I cannot comment. But most of the use cases which I know, yes, definitely you can do this one. Maybe if you require, let me tell you some use cases. Uh, Whatever the use cases that you are written here, right? There is a predictive maintenance and all. Okay, what I'm thinking in the predictive maintenance also, okay, you can do the anomaly detection, Shashibhushan. Okay, anomaly detection in the sense, I think you said you are in the steel plant automation actually. Even I also know a bit about that mechanical things. Okay, because so GenAI analyzes the sensor data from motors, turbines, compressors, right? And that will be able to predict the failures before they happen based upon the pattern recognition actually, right? And you can also set up some alarm managements actually. You got it right. Maybe couple of use cases that we can think about here, but definitely yes, you can do it here. Yeah. Any other questions? No worries, sir. Okay. If no more questions, I'll hand over it to Venkat, sir. Sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I think
Yes, sir.
we are done. If you have any questions, anybody, you can always reach out to us, and we will share the WhatsApp link as well. So in that group, I will be sharing the PPT recording, any other supporting files, or any other future workshop, everything. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.